What is up, everyone? How is everyone doing? It is Thursday, and we are playing some Zelda Ocarina of Time, and this is the rare 1.0, not a 1.1 or 1.2 cartridge. So we are, the whole point of this stream is to be highlighting some of the differences as we come across, but also we're having fun, so I appreciate you all joining us in the chat, letting us know, showing your presence, giving us your fine presence, and just having a good time, man. So if you like this sort of content, retro gaming, like, subscribe. It's going to help me out. Let the YouTube gods favor me in the algorithm. So go ahead and do that. And we are about to get started. We're just a little bit early right now. I usually start, or I've set today's stream for like 11 o'clock. So we are just a little bit early, but just in time to set everything up. I always love playing this thing. This to me is still like the most serene opening of all time. All the nostalgia that it causes, all of the woes of turning into an adult after living an exceptional childhood in the 90s. That's the best way to put it. So we're having fun here. We'll let our viewers join in. Got a few people watching already, but I like to give it just a few minutes and we can get started. Today we are in live stream number 3, I believe. Just so you guys know, if you are new here and you are just joining me now for the first time, this is a retro gaming space for the most part. I am actually playing on a CRT TV. It's as old as I am, and I need to make a video. I keep talking about this, but I need to make a video about how I'm able to use a CRT TV to play on and then kind of split the signal so I can send you guys the information through OBS. So I kind of have like several screens open here. Anytime I look to my right, I'm looking at you guys over here in the chat, but also keeping a monitor on OBS. But then I get to play on this beautiful TV because it renders all the colors so much better than if you're trying to just, digitize everything, I guess. So that is what I have in front of me. On this, basically this AV card of my childhood dreams that I built recently. I got all of my old consoles out of storage. And I've got a Sega Genesis, I've got an N64, a Nintendo Wii, I've got an original Xbox, and of course I've got all the, I've got a VCR, because I still have VHS tapes, and a DVD player, and I recently hooked up a new sound system, because the mono speaker on this thing, which is just a tinny piece of garbage, is all but crapped out. So what I had to do was find some speakers, but if you know anything about CRT TVs, you will know that you can't just use any speakers, because especially modern ones are not shielded magnetically, so they will ruin your CRT TV. So I had to find your old trusty pair, essentially, of speakers that you would have used in the early 2000s at latest for your computer. Is essentially what I had to do here. They're the only ones I could find that are shielded, and it's really funny because, I grew up playing this game on a CRT TV. Obviously, that's all we had for the time, and I don't recall us ever having added nicer speakers. We just played on whatever sound was coming through the TV, and I had always heard it in mono and really tiny volume. And now I'm hearing all of the glorious soundtrack to this. Not that I haven't looked it up after the fact, but it's really funny to have an actual subwoofer booming the sounds through. So anyway, I'm talking too much about this stuff. We are getting closer to time. Make sure all my settings are good. I think I keep saying this, but every time I come back, I feel like I have solved my audio delay issue. And I think I found the reason is if I switch to my other camera, just a click of a button over here, when I come back to my camera 1, which is you guys being able to see the game, but also my face, in the corner, for every second that goes by, it keeps delaying it, like milliseconds at a time. So I believe I fixed that by just not switching over to that camera, or doing so very, very, very shortly, keeping everything very brief. So instead, I probably will not switch over unless something specific happens, something maybe at the end I will do that. That way we can keep everything good. But let's go ahead. Again, shout out to AeroPig10. AeroPig10, because he is we haven't played Halo in a while, but usually we play Halo on Wednesday nights. I do have a live stream just from last night. AeroPig is the gamer tag. For my friend who actually let me borrow his rare copies of Ocarina of Time, because the copy that I have, that we got, my brother and I got in the late 90s, was a 1.2, like the more mass-produced one. So here is our file. We still have 0 deaths. I don't know how long we'll keep that up, but 0 deaths is good. That 000, for the longest time, I had no idea what that was. And it turns out that that's what it is. And there's a funny YouTuber who said, I want to see what happens after 999 deaths. So he took it upon himself to die 999 times and then record the 1000th death to see if it starts over or if it just taps out at 999. So you guys can look that up and figure that out for yourself. I have never died that many times. That would be a feat in itself. As all good games that don't have suspend points, like all the new stuff, or the Nintendo Switch Online, because we are playing, like I said, on the original N64. We are not playing, this is not emulated, it's not the Nintendo Switch Online. We're playing the real deal. That is a cable. I don't know how many times we have tripped on this and ruined our progress in different games when my brother and I were kids. Or, mom would get mad and just like, yank the whole thing out. Anyway, what I was saying is, your save files, when you're a kid, a child Link, it starts you at your own house. Versus when you're an adult, it starts you at the Temple of Time. So, anyway, I like to switch to the Deku Shield. There's really only one good reason to have the other one, is when you're in Dodongo's Cavern in the fire and then running up Death Mountain. So, since we're here at night... Oh no, I can't do that. I don't have the boomerang yet. I was going to say there's a few gold Skulltulas that you can get here at night, but I don't think I can reach them. There's one back here. I don't think I can reach it because I don't have... Oh, I can reach this one. This thing is ginormous, by the way. When you come back as an adult, the gold... Do you guys say Skulltulas or Skulltulas? I guess it's a matter of where you put the accent, right? What does Navi want now? I wonder if Saria knows anything about the other spiritual stone. I'm sure she does, but we're not going to call her. Not this time. You're still up there, waiting for me to Z-target you and talk to you? Mido might know something about Saria's whereabouts. Yeah, I know. I think Mido is sulking in one of the houses around here, but only at night. Is this shop... You know what I think is funny is they didn't change daytime or nighttime when you walk into a shop. So when you walk in here, it looks like the light is pouring in from the daytime. Like, look how sunny it is outside. There we go. There is another Skulltula over here, but I think it's as an adult Link. I don't think you can get it as a child. It is literally up here. It is right there on the right side, but it has to be nighttime as an adult. So we can't do that. This guy's doing all his sweet back flipping. Reminder. I tell myself this again in case I come back. I haven't gotten a... Oh, it's because I just got my magic. Okay, never mind. Let's save. That's the first and only time you will see the magic jar as the item held above your head. What was I in here for? I was thinking about... Oh, this was the reminder I was wanting to set for myself, is do the Deku Stick upgrades and the Deku Nut upgrades early enough in the game so that you're not... you can get... actually, it would be a hard block. You get hard blocked out of being able to do the second upgrade for Deku Nuts, I believe, if you don't do it before you become an adult. So we still have some ways to do that, but I'd have to remember where that upgrade is. I do know of one. Let's go back to the Lost Woods. I do know of one upgrade, and there's a interesting spot in the Lost Woods that a lot of people tend to skip over. So we're actually going to try to do that now. It's very calm at night here. All you hear are like the birds. And I think it's interesting that Kokiri Forest, you can see all the little dust fairies and sprites all around. I don't think anywhere else in the game can you see all of these just kind of flying around. It just gives that little bit of atmosphere to the game. I was recently watching a video about liminal spaces, and sometimes a lot of liminal spaces these days are like all the retro stuff from the 90s and 2000s, and it always seems to be industrial and technological, but there's no reason liminal spaces can't be like this right here. It's just like quiet, serene. If I could take away the hub, the HUD, you know, the hearts, the blue button, the green button, the C buttons, the rupees, what a beautiful photo this is, right? How do you guys feel about that? It's just so calm being here. My favorite spot I mentioned in the last live stream was on Death Mountain Trail, looking down, and you can see Kakariko Village in the distance, and it just looks like a painting. It looks like Van Gogh's Starry Night or something. And then the cool thing about it is the fact that you can also wait for it to become nighttime, and you can see the lights just glow on. It's just a beautiful effect that they added that I thought was just so cool. Let's put a bomb here. I don't remember if it's a secret grotto or not, but let's try it. We're just chilling, seeing if we get a few more of our subscribers here. These are almost always rupees that I don't need. But if you're trying to 100% the game, it feels nice to come in here and get all of these. Not that I'm 100%ing the game. I have made a playlist where I did 100% the game, if you're interested in that. Now I've lost my way. I think it's this way. Notice that now that we've already done, you don't have to wait as an adult. I kind of always thought that you had to wait to become an adult for Saria Song to be playing in the Lost Woods, where it's the only sign you have to be going the right way, because it's the Lost Woods for a reason. This map is just a square, meaning you don't know where to go. That sends you out. So you can sort of tell because it's like gray. I don't know if you guys feel the same way when you're walking around the Lost Woods, except for the very last one. If you know how to get into the forest meadow, the sacred forest meadow, it actually is gray itself. This is the spot I was talking about. That's interesting. You have to come back. We came here during the first live stream. You've come back now. I think things are slightly different. There's another one over here. But then there's also, you see where all these butterflies are? There's a grotto. And this is supposed to be the forest stage. We are waiting to see your beautiful face win fabulous prizes. So I believe your beautiful face is the Skull Kid mask. If I'm correct about this, let me know in the chat if you are there, if that is the way to do this. You come in here and you wear the skull mask, and you get all these Deku scrubs that come out, and it's just a weird spot in the game. This is just one of those rooms that's just like, again, it's one of those weird spaces in the game. I feel like all the secret grottos have like a special feeling, a special atmosphere that just doesn't seem to have been recreated in the other games. Like the caves in Breath of the Wild are cool, they're just like more exploration, but there's something about the feeling of these that is different, and the Deku Tree music is what's always being played. It's just it's like a serene feeling. That liminal feeling is sort of back. Anyway. By the way, you can do this. Some people didn't know about this. When you cut down a sign and you play Zelda's Lullaby, look at what happens. It pops right back on. Cool, huh? Friends of the Forest wear the Skull Kid mask. Or the Skull mask. We'll have to get that. I think we already sold the Keaton mask, so the next one actually is the... here, we're going to get lost on purpose. Because we want to leave. And where we are headed to next... I guess I could just go and grab that skull mask real quick. Before we turn this into the entire fight scene of going into Jabu Jabu, let's go back to the Happy Mask shop. It's so quiet at night, but at the same time, these stall children pop out at night. So long as you don't get off of the path, they won't come out. The moment you get onto green grass, they start coming out again. There you have it. But if you stay on the trail, you're usually good. We got here just in time. I am hyper aware of my eyes looking cross-eyed when I look at the TV, because the focal point is such a small thing, so on my camera it looks like I'm cross-eyed. I promise you I'm not. When I look away, it doesn't do that. It's really funny to see. How do you guys like my my link here on my... Someone called it my microphone decoration. It's just a thing I found that I thought would be fun to put right there. If I bump my microphone even once, he is tumbling down, and I don't think he's coming back. You sold it, the Keaton mask, or Keaton mask. All right, we're gonna get the Skull Kid mask. So I don't know why they made it this way. So if you finish the entire Happy Mask Salesman side quest, then you can come back and use... you can pick up any mask that you have used before, essentially. So the only prerequisite, I suppose... I felt like warping to the forest, but I can't do that yet. If you become an adult, it locks you out of getting that second Deku Nut upgrade. And it's just a weird thing that it does that. I think they fixed that in the 3DS. If you've played the 3DS version of this game, let me know. I believe that has been fixed. But it's just one of those things where you get hard blocked out if you don't do it as an adult. Or maybe it has to do with this side quest rather than the other theory about it being you becoming an adult and then it won't let you back in. So it could be connected to the Skull Kid mask. It could be connected to the fact that you have the Ocarina of Time, the blue one, rather than the fairy ocarina. So just a thing, I guess. New viewer, what is up? Welcome. We are just playing some Zelda Ocarina of Time, and as you know from the thumbnail, we're playing a rare 1.0 cartridge. So there are bound to be things, if you haven't played this version of it, that you have either not seen, that we will talk about, we will stumble upon, hopefully, or the other way around. My friend never knew of the 1.2 version. He was not aware of the differences. And so one day I was sitting on his couch and we popped this game in just because we were curious. And we went to the Fire Temple and I was like, what is this? What is going on? I want to see if I can use the Skull Mask. Before I give this to the Skull Kid, I want to come over here and see if it works for me. We were just here a minute ago. Actually, it may have been to my left, back there. Did I mess up? No, this is it. I don't want to be sold these. At some point somewhere, you talk to the right Deku's business scrub like this, and he gives you an upgrade. But you have to be wearing the Skull Kid mask. I don't remember which specific one it was. So I don't want to be sold them. I want to do the upgrade. Now, this is the spot we were talking about. We were earlier. There is a hole here, a secret grotto here. And it only works if you're wearing this mask. We are waiting to see your beautiful face. Your beautiful face being the Skull Kid mask. There we go. This cutscene. So now the music has changed and we're in a rave. This is now a party. How weird, right? And they just follow you around. All of the young Deku Scrub brothers agree. You look exactly like our sacred forest totem. As an offering from us, please accept these Deku sticks. We will also enhance your carrying skills. Abracadabra. Alakazam. 20 Deku sticks. So there is another upgrade to this. This is not the only time. So, how weird, right? Interesting. I think there's a secret grotto elsewhere in somewhere in Hyrule. I know that's the most vague thing ever. But you can do the next upgrade that way. So, okay, now we're going to get lost on purpose because it's a shorter distance. And we'll pop back in and we're going to sell this mask to the Skull Kid, who we have already befriended by playing the... Oh, now I think I remember. It's this spot over here to the left. Let's do this first. Whoops. Oh no, he wants to talk to you just normally. Oh, maybe we haven't befriended him yet. Yeah. It's possible we have not befriended this guy. Let me pop back in. I think you need to exit because otherwise it still thinks it's just like normal. We have not played Saria's song to the Skull Kid yet. What type of person are you here when you play your ocarina? Do you play it rhythmically, or do you just play it as fast as possible? There's only 2 camps. You know Saria's song. We should be friends. Here, take this. You've completed another heart container. Do you think my face is kind of plain? It's just not very unusual. Well, let's give you this thing. Maybe you like this thing. Hee hee, under that mask, aren't you that Kokiri kid? I've been standing here. Nothing's changed. Quite an unusual mask you have there. I like it. It may make me look a little bit tougher. Why don't you give it to me? Okay, yowza, I'm gonna wear this all the time. Bam, now he's got it. He just gave you 10 rupees for this 20 rupee mask. You lost money on that deal. Go back to the mask shop and pay 20 rupees for the mask. The difference will have to come out of your own pocket. Alrighty. Now we're gonna go over here. This is what I was talking about before. Apart from these bug locations, by the way, for getting Skulltulas. I believe this may be the other upgrade. I surrender. To make your quest easier, I can enable you to pick up more Deku sticks, but it'll cost you 40 rupees. Let's do it. So now we're up to 30, I believe. Yeah, so this is your maximum. This is your maximum for Deku sticks, which is a crazy number. Alright, let's get out of here officially. I want to talk about this bridge, but I want to do it actually standing up there for a minute. Because it is also one of those places that I mentioned when we were talking about sort of liminal spaces and just like the eerie feeling of being in a place that is... I don't know if nostalgia is the right word or just this melancholy feeling of existing. Like it's weird. But this bridge also feels different because it's stuck between this idea that this entire forest is enveloped around the Lost Woods, and there's only one way out, and then the other direction is where the Deku tree is. So it's kind of weird that in between those two things, you have the Lost Woods, the sounds of Saria's song, and in here you have Kokiri Forest, like the music that plays. But then here, there's nothing. It's just the serene sounds that we talked about before, like when it's nighttime in Kokiri Forest. And it overlooks. So this, the feeling of being on this bridge and knowing that that is the Lost Woods there. And that's the Lost Woods on that section. And these Lost Woods just completely envelop and is indeed part of the Lost Woods. As you notice, we are in the map that is still square because it cannot resolve itself. We're in that same sort of feeling of this is a mysterious sort of place, if that makes sense. So I think Breath of the Wild did a great job of putting the Lost Woods, which turns into where the Korok Forest is. You know, the mist and all of that feeling that they added to that. It feels good. It feels like you can throw it into a world that you can explore, you know, without load screens and all of that, without having to go into a separate quarter of this game like these early games do, because there just isn't enough, you know, loading textures. There isn't enough load memory to be able to house an entire game. You have to hide load screens behind walls. But this is like its own little place. You're in between two doors, and they took away the music, but you can still see the textures in the distance that are very eerie, and you know you're in the middle of something. And then that's it. You can't go over this bridge. You can't jump over it. There's nothing here that you can do. Except leave. Yeah. So I don't know. Just one of those feelings, I suppose. Let's save. We could also do the Goron upgrade. There's a lot of things we could do here along the way to doing what we're supposed to be doing, which is the spiritual stone of water, of sapphire. How many Skulltulas do I have? Now that we're talking about all of this, 13. So we could technically get our first upgrade from the House of Skulltula, who is the richest family in Hyrule, by the way. Interesting also that every time you go back, once you finish all 100 Skulltulas, your prize is that you can eternally get 200 rupees from the head of the household. Which is funny because if you've done all the legwork to get 100 Skulltulas, you are probably done with this game. It's the hardest, the most time-consuming of all of the side quests. And so to be given money to do that is kind of funny. Like, there's no reason at that point to need any more rupees. We talked about this guy earlier. Connection to the other guy who's depressed, the kid, and the old hag in the potion shop and all of that stuff. Aimlessly running around the village. They're all worthless, I tell you. Alright, this is the House of Skulltula. The curse has been broken. Thank you. Here's a reward for you. Adult wallet. 200 rupees. So if I remember correctly, there is... one of these is the Stone of Agony, which is funny, because you need a rumble pack. It's supposed to give you, like, show you different secrets and stuff. I think that's the next one. Then the third one might be the Giant's Wallet, which allows you to carry 500 rupees. One of them is a heart piece, and then I forget what the other one is. And then if you get all 100 Skulltulas in the game, which again is quite the incredible feat, then you get 200 rupees. Every time you come back to the house and you talk to the guy, he gives you 200 rupees. And you can just do that endlessly, which is, again, I mentioned before, is just a funny thing that I think has very little use by the time that you have finished all of this. So you can also come in here and learn this song ahead of time, I believe. Oh no, you learn it as an adult, I think. Go around and around. What fun, I'm so happy. Yeah, that's... so you're supposed to play this song here later, and you all know what it's for. Everyone's favorite song. But I think you have to learn it as a kid. Or you have to learn it as an adult. And what's funny is the whole time dilemma. The whole time paradox of... the guy tells you that some kid came around here and ruined the well, the windmill. And the way he did that, the way you learn to do that song in the first place is because the kid version of you teaches him the song, who teaches you as an adult. But for that to happen, you must have already known the song, so it's just an odd thing. Just a weird thing. My little boy isn't here right now. I think he went to play in the graveyard. Weird. I believe this is the shop, but I guess it's nighttime now officially. Am I right to assume that? You can only come to the shop during the day, and all the daytime characters are still out and about. So it must not be like pure nighttime. It closes at like 6 p.m., which is not considered nighttime yet. So right now it's like 00 hours. Now it's like purely nighttime. My boy is asleep right now. Please come back some other time to play with him. You can hear the scraggle of a Skulltula. So yeah, now I remember. This shop does not open until you're an adult. So I believe this shop is only open as an adult. It's one of the placeholders for the game when Ganondorf has ruined Hyrule, and all of those characters have to come somewhere else. So they throw them into Hyrule at various points. So it's funny that neither at nighttime nor daytime can you come here, because he assumes that you're looking for the kid to play with because you're another kid. And at nighttime he's just asleep. So the game does an interesting. The same goes for this place. You can't get into the back alley until later, and this becomes part of a potion shop as well. So all interesting things, how they decided to place these. Speaking of those characters, by the way, the characters that get moved from Castle Market Town to Kakariko Village because everything has been displaced by Ganondorf. There is this theory that not all of the castle guards are accounted for. So there are indeed ones who die, essentially. I came back here because there's a couple of Skulltulas that we can get. And what else can we get? This is climbable, which is weird. What else was there? Did I have a reason to go to Goron City for something, is what I was thinking here. Oh, we can do the bomb upgrades, that's right. If we stop the guy up here, we can do bombs. Not that guy, the other guy. This is a 50, I believe. Yeah. Which is actually worth something now. My wallet is like eternally full, but not today. This guy who's rolling around, he gives you a bomb upgrade, but you have to stop him over by this sign, I believe. That is the prerequisite here. And it's actually fairly easy to do. Let me jinx myself. There we go. Alright, I'll give you this in praise of your courage. You got a big bomb bag. Now you can carry up to 30. Nice. This is the sign that tells you that. Oh, of course he just laid down and destroyed my life. If you can stop my wild rolling, you might get something great. Hot Rodder Goron. I forgot he had a name, the Hot Rodder. Oh, I meant to look down. Alright, let's see what Saria says. You're supposed to use this mechanic the first time you play the game because you are actually confused and you don't know where else to go. Yeah, I guess we do. This is Saria, can you hear me? Are you collecting spiritual stones? You have one more to find. You mean the spiritual stone of water, don't you? Well, I don't know. You're telling me this. The great Deku Tree once told me that King Zora, ruler of Zora's domain, has it. Alright. That is your key. So we came here just for this upgrade. We talked about this room in the last live stream. Remember that the blocks are there. And when you come back as an adult, those blocks are not there. And you can summon them. So the theory is that you summon them from the past. So maybe that hints toward a mechanic that they abandon in the game, because this is the only location in the game where that is the case. So you kind of think that opening the door of time and the time blocks like that, the only mechanic is that the things themselves move. But it's possible that that wasn't really the use. The use was, you know, making them go across time, which is an interesting way to think about it. This is a game about time, so who knows why that was changed. Alright, we are now gonna head to Zora's domain. And there's a lot to do here. There's a few heart pieces along the way, some more gold skulltulas. We can sell back the mask. We can do all sorts of things along the way. Kakariko Village music is the best. Should we sell back the mask? Or just head to Zora's domain? Again, there's just so many things that you can do. The next is I believe it's the spooky mask, and it's the kid in the graveyard who wants to be spookier because he wants to be more like his hero, Dampe, who's just the creepy dude who runs the graveyard shift. Literally. I guess we can do that. It's going to save us from doing all of the extra time changes that we're going to need to do later. Oh, we can also get Din's Fire. Let's do that. That's actually more important. Getting Din's Fire is something you're going to need later. Here's my question. I had it in the last live stream. We went into one of the first fairy fountains where you get upgrades. The one in Goron in Death Mountain. My question is the fire always a certain color? Do they change? And I'm pretty sure this one. So this one is should be adjacent to the one that's in. Yeah, see? This is the one that is a green fire. The other one was like a regular red fire. So they don't all change. And I thought there was an attachment to, well, this is going to be Din's Fire, so it should be the red one. And then Farore's Wind and Zora's Domain, Zora's Fountain, should be the green one. And then the blue one should be where you get Nairu's Love. But that is not the case. So, strange. You'd think they would be sort of color-coded in that way, but apparently they're not, so. The adult Link version, there's one in this same spot in Ganon's castle where you have to lift up that like ginormous thing that you need the golden gauntlets for. And I think it remains blue just like this. So Din's Fire actually is a prerequisite for finishing the game because you need it for the Shadow Temple. And I believe you need it later in the game for like one more thing. It might be in Ganon's castle where you need it. There's no way to use like fire arrows or anything like that to allow you to do the entire thing. Always come back and get hearts. And also, I think she fills up your magic meter if that's empty, or if it's not completely full. You can do that. So you can't go back into the castle, by the way. If you try to go through the same hidey hole spot where Talon, her dad, Drunken Mario. If you try to go through that spot, there's guards right there again. So you can never go back, which is interesting, because you don't really get to travel the you don't really get to explore Hyrule Castle ever again. I think that's a missed opportunity. Maybe that's an opportunity that we can have in the remake. So I've been of this idea that if they do this remake and they do a good job with it, then they should leave the main game intact and just extend other things. Maybe you can add side quests, maybe you can add locations, maybe, you know, you can bump up the lore of this game by making it more of a seamless transition between this and other Zelda games. But you don't do it by altering things that you know. You only do it by adding to things. So I think it was always weird that you could never really explore Ganon's castle or explore Hyrule Castle very much. Like, it's just a very specific, limited part of the game. Kids shouldn't be wandering around town at nighttime. Stay indoors. One of these dogs, it's one of the white dogs, not the brown dogs, is the one called Little Richard, who one of the women in one of these houses in the back alleys actually is looking for. That is not what I meant to do. If you play, I believe, Zelda's Lullaby for the dog, then the dog will follow you. And then you take it into the back alley. So it's not this one. Oh, maybe I did get the right one. He's following me now. Don't get too far away from him. There's a back alley. Let's go this way. The back alleys of this game are also very interesting. I think they could add to some really sort of creepy stories that take place in these back alleys. And there's one in particular that we talked about when we are on our way to the Master Sword. Richard, this is my little Richard. Thank you. Thank you. I'll give this to you as a reward. I'm pretty sure you get a heart piece here. Yeah. Right on. It's funny how he almost looks angry. Look at his face. He was pretty happy to follow you, and now he kind of looks angry. Looks sort of like a, I don't know, a little Yorkie or something. So these back alleys, again, back here, it's specifically this back alley here. When you come back and Ganondorf is chasing Zelda and Impa out of the castle, and she gives you the ocarina, there's this theory that there are castle guards who are trying to fend off and try to allow Zelda and Impa to get away without being captured by Ganondorf or hurt by Ganondorf. And there's a castle guard who pays with his life. And he's sitting right here, and you get to hear his last dying words, and then he gets cut off as he dies. And it only happens that one instant, that one time you come back here. And if you miss that opportunity, you never see that cutscene. It's not a cutscene, it's just text, you talking to the guy. But it's really weird. So there's a lot of lore around that specific castle guard, and he may have been given a name by, Zeldapedia or whatever it's called. But there's an interesting take there that we'll have to see when we come back. We must not forget to do all of that. Let's go ahead and... It seems like it's taking forever for dawn to come. The view of Hyrule Castle in the morning sun is so fantastic. Alright. Yeah, this is a sort of thing where in Twilight Princess, Market Town is much more explorable. There's a lot more places to go to, essentially. This is the bomb. I don't know if it's open during the day. Oh, I guess it is. This is the proverbial blue-haired Bombchu baddie. Uh-oh, a customer. Welcome to our cutting-edge amusement center, the Bombchu Bowling Alley. It's a secret to you. It's 30 rupees. All right. Aim for the hole in the center. You have to do this a few times, and eventually you can get a heart piece, but I think you can also get a bomb upgrade here. This may be the bomb upgrade. Yeah, there's Bombchu baddie for all of you simps. There's the Bombchu baddie. I like the Bombchu, like, sort of neon sign. Super cute, isn't it? I need one of those for my back wall. Help me out. I do have a support my channel link. It's the buy me a coffee link. So you want to click that if you would like to donate to the channel. I put everything right back into fixing all my old stuff because this crap breaks, man. It's all my old retro stuff, and occasionally it needs to be fixed. But sometimes I just put it into, like, I have to solder things. Pokemon batteries for Game Boy games have to be changed out. You need to know how to solder those in, or just fixing crap in general. So, or all of my equipment, microphone, lighting, my computer to run OBS. But anyway, I digress. I hate shamelessly plugging myself like that, but I guess I have to. I do have that link. You can think of it as buying me a coffee if you would like, and I greatly, greatly appreciate that. There is the Bombchu baddie, and let's go. There is a, like, specific angle that's good to avoid all of the spiky things moving around. Especially the last one's really annoying because of they add Kukos to the mix. Someone figured out online how to do, like, the perfect angle to this, and I'm never too good at it. You can just stand over here, but it's kind of whatever. The chicken doesn't really get in your way too much in this one. It's a lot worse in the last one. Oh man, I've never had this much trouble doing it. Come on now. I'm only gonna have 4 chances if I get this. Oh, that was terrible. Oh, I'm gonna hit the thing. That was my worst attempt thus far. Alright, I get 2 attempts. This is the worst. There's the big chicken over there. And you've got 2 other ones, and you have to time your throw with the little chicken, the big chicken, and the spike thing. We're gonna wait. I'm so bad at this. Come on. This next one, let's go. No, chicken! Roast chicken. Alright, I get 1 shot here. For my roops. For my 50 rupees. I'm indecisive. Oh, I got it. First try. I just get my rupees back, but one of them is a heart piece, and the other one is the bomb upgrade. So we already went from 20 to 30, now we can go 30 to 40. Let's play again. I almost forgot. Here's what you can win. I don't need Bombchus, man. Come on. Come on, Bombchu baddie. Give me what I want. Y'all can decide what it is I want from the Bombchu baddie. Oh man, the frame rate drop got me. There we go. What? Come on. Nah, don't give me that. Come on, man. I don't know if the green lines are supposed to tell you where to go. That's gonna mess up too, isn't it? Yeah, if you pick your angle right, you can sort of get it. Now it's gonna hit the freaking chicken. Ooh, that was close. Okay. Sometimes it's off to a side here. Oh, they're gonna make it difficult on me. The side one is way worse. That's a firm possibility here. And the chicken's in your way always. Come on, chickens. Cuckoos. Gotta find the perfect time. Nope, that's the bad time. Oh, oh. Did not expect that. Oh, now I get bomb chews that I'll never use. There's only one time in the entire game where you need a bomb chew. And it is at the very end of the game in Ganon's castle. That's the only time. Alright, I guess I'm playing again. Now I won't get it. Oh, a heart piece. Okay. As long as you don't mess up the first one, that would be terrible. Oh, this time it's in the middle. Okay, now I get 8 chances. Now it's going to be off to the side, and it's the worst thing ever. Oh, they put all of them in the middle. I get 8 chances to do this. Let's go. Wow. I really don't want to do this again, but I'm not coming back to unless I want to come see the bomb chew, the bomb chew baddie. But there's really no reason to come back here, so I may as well do it now. This should be the bomb bag, because what else? I don't know. We're gonna do this quickly, and I don't care. Line it up. Let's go. Yeah, now that I'm not even trying is when they all work. They just line up perfectly every time now, don't they? Oh, the dog. Come on, doggy. I'm literally just throwing these away because I don't freaking care about the... Come on, dog. I hate this dog. No way. Yes, I want to play again. I want to care about the bomb bag. There's the bomb bag I want. Okay, alright. Get out of my way, dog. Get out of my way. Now I'm going to spend all this energy doing this and I'm going to ruin it. This is the worst. This is the worst. Come on. That works. There we go. Alright. Down the middle it is, isn't it? It's always down the middle. I could have sworn there's one to the side. I get 7 shots at doing this. The small chicken just won't get out of the way. Oh. I know there's a way to do this where you don't have to go down the middle, but it's just easier. Just get out of the way. I get 5 attempts. No. You just turned around and took a bomb. should have done it then, but the spikes. Come on, come on. Don't turn around. No. Oh, you turned back into it. These chickens. Alright. Come on. Come on. Do this right. Be right. I'm leaving this place if I don't get this bomb bag. I don't need it. I want it, but I don't need it. You're making my life worse. Come on. Get out of the way, man. Get out of the way. No. Why? Why? I have one left. I'm gonna ruin it. Alright. No, definitely not. You don't have to play if you don't want to. Alright. Alright. Stay bad, baddie. I won't be back. Alright. Yep. Yep. Alright. See ya. I think there's rupees up here that I always forget to grab. Alright. We've done enough. Let's go to... We did not get the mask. We came here for the mask and we didn't do it. I think this is only open during the daytime. Yes. You can get a part-time job here. I mean, I guess that's sort of what I'm doing. I went the long way around it, and I always go counterclockwise around this for some reason. I never cut across screen. Oh great, you sold it. Please pay me back 20 rupees. Payment received. Alright. The spooky mask. Do you want to borrow the spooky mask? Yes. Look how spooky this is. There's an interesting thing about this. This mask looks like the face that are on the Redeads. So this creepy kid who lives in the shadow of Dampe in the graveyard in Kakariko Village, he wants to look like the Redead zombies, I guess. And so this is how to do it. It looks like a, you know, Buffalo Bill type situation. But that's the mask we're buying. It also kind of looks like the mask from the movie The Mask with Jim Carrey, if you know what I'm talking about. Huh. Alright. Should we head to Kakariko Village and get the mask sold to the kid? Or should we just make our way? I sort of like the idea of doing this entire side quest because the thing I didn't do on my last playthrough of this game, which is in the playlist here on the channel, is get all those masks early enough that you can find the Zora mask, the Gerudo mask, and a Goron mask, and you can talk to people. And you get different reactions based on which mask you're wearing. And I did not do that early enough in the game for it to matter. So maybe I should do this. Maybe we should finish this up. It's also strange that when you come back as an adult, Kakariko Village music is no longer playing. It's like all the happy times are gone, even the music. And it's very sad. There's a different feeling in Kakariko Village altogether because of it. So we're going to talk to this kid first before putting the mask on. And you'll see what I'm talking about here. Little kids can't go on the heart-pounding grave-digging tour described on the sign. Since I can't do that, I'm just imitating Dampe the Gravekeeper all day. But with my cute face, I'm not heart pounding at all, am I? So, you're gonna want one of these, aren't you? Yeah, it's Dampe the Gravekeeper. Oh, it's just a mask. I get a different kind of fright from that mask than I get from Dampe. Will you give that mask to me? Yes. With this mask, I'll be just like Dampe. Here's my money. You sold a 30 ruby mask to a kid for full price, and he didn't mind paying at all. Let's go back to the mask shop to pay 30 rupees for the mask. You can get the new mask model too. What's he say now? I'm gonna dig and dig, just like Dampe. Creeper. Alright. We're gonna get the bunny hood mask is the one that's coming up. Now the bunny hood is interesting because there's really no reason to run into the guy at all when you're a kid, other than that he likes to run around Hyrule. The marathon runner. And as an adult, you see this man in the tent that is just outside the bridge in Gerudo Valley on the way to the thieves' hideout, the fortress. And until you get that bridge fixed, you can't get across without Epona or the long shot, I believe. There are ways to glitch your way across. You can use your hover boots if you have those. And you can use a bomb jump move, which is a little excessive to me because all you need really is the long shot or Epona, which is a lot easier to get. But I digress. If you do these temples in a certain order, just as a challenge, there's all sorts of funny ways you can finish this game. I have not really played with those. I think maybe I've done it one time. You sold it. Please pay me back 30 rupees for the spooky mask now. Payment received. And here is the bunny hood mask. It is 30 rupees. And I am borrowing this. We're gonna go find this guy because this is one of the more interesting. This is a harder one to find. You just assume that everyone is sort of, you know, in either in Kakariko Village or they're in the market, and there really aren't too many other places where you're gonna run into like Hylians as opposed to like Gorons or Gerudos or Zoras or the Kokiri. And so you're not selling your masks to those people, you're selling them to Hylians. And what I remember about the bunny hood mask is that you can use the trail to sort of find where he's going, and he runs around or jogs around sort of counterclockwise around Lun Lun Ranch. So the easiest way to find him is to go clockwise. And at night, he stops to rest. And you will see him here. Don't tell me about Saria again. Yeah, we already did that. So there are places along this route where he rests. And we would be very lucky to find him on our first try. But the guy is running, and if you find him, you can just use the Sun Song to stop him because he decides to rest at night. I almost always find him around the Gerudo entrance. That's just the way it turns out. He's around here somewhere. It's really interesting to see him like as a silhouette running in the distance. That's pretty cool. If you can get that to happen. Here's the trail again. Is that the freaking owl up there? Let's talk to the owl. Only because it's weird to find him in Hyrule. In Hyrule Field, I mean. Wait up, buddy. Hoo-hoo. Head south from here to reach Lake Hylia's full, rich waters. If you go west, you'll find Gerudo Valley. There's a hideout of a gang of thieves on the other side of the valley. Well, you're free to go anywhere you want. I do not want to hear that again. Just don't get discouraged. I think the idea of this game's difficulty sort of was just the grand scope, the grand size of it when compared to the earlier games. And so finding something in Hyrule Field is like, even though it's vast and large compared to the old games, it's not necessarily full of secrets. Like, there are a few, but it's not everywhere. So like, in terms of how concentrated it is, it's just not that full of secrets, to be honest with you. But because they were working on the 3D space to this game at the time, it was perhaps overwhelming for a lot of people. And now that's not really the case. How have we not run into this dude already? Or did we just miss him the first time? Or have I not gotten that far into the game yet for him to be running around? Is that something that potentially I missed? Maybe that's the case. You can defeat these things by just hitting them right there. Oh, was that him? I think that was him. Oh, I thought I saw him off to the side. Weird. I guess my mind is playing tricks on me. What are these things called? P-hat. I guess there are versions of this in the other games, but they're like the small ones. Those are worse than fighting like Stall Childs and stuff. Those are relatively easy. Cool move. Yeah, we have not found the bunny dude. Bunny Hood. Maybe it is too early in the game. It's possible that you have to encounter him in Gerudo Valley as an adult for him to exist. Is that the owl again? What is that? He just moved from that spot to this spot. It's funny, I've never traveled around enough to spot the owl again in this particular location. Beyond this point lies Lake Hylia. It is full of deep, pure water. The Zoras, who live all the way upstream, guard the sunken temple at the lake's bottom, as well as Zora's fountain. If you want to confirm its location on the map, press the star. We don't need all that. All the places you visited will be shown up on the map. Be careful and go. Wow, we really did not run into Bunny Hood. I have arrived. Dunk Nasty, welcome. We've reached an interesting point in the mask, the Happy Mask Salesman. I've never done this side quest this early in the game, and I'm kind of wondering if we don't get an appearance of the Bunny Hood man, the Marathon Man, if it's this early in the game. Or if one of the prerequisites is you have to literally be wearing this mask to watch him run around Hyrule. So, what's your input on this? I've actually never done mask shenanigans. You've never done the mask shenanigans? Oh man, this is the last mask in this particular one. You've got to do the mask shenanigans because the Mask of Truth has some interesting things when you get to the end of this side quest, there's some interesting things that are connected to Majora's Mask. So, weird. You haven't done this, so this will be new for you, I guess. Well, I'm not going to be able to find this bunny hood, apparently. I'm going to do it on my next playthrough. Yeah, so, I don't know if I should spoil this for you then, because this particular mask is a little harder to find the person you're supposed to sell it to, if you've never done this. But I'm having trouble finding the person, and I think it has to do with... I've also never gotten the bottle from the pose. Oh, yeah, that one's sort of hard if you don't know all the locations of the pose. I'm pretty sure it's too early in the game for me to be doing this one. Don't worry about spoiling. Okay. That's fair. Alright, I think it is too early. So, normally... If you know who the Bunny Hood Man is, the Marathon Man that you find in the Gerudo, in one of the tents in Gerudo as an adult, he's this guy who just loves jogging around Hyrule, and he jogs around Hyrule in counterclockwise fashion, and he stops to rest at night here in Hyrule Field. So for you to find him, the easiest way is to go the opposite way, is to go clockwise. But I'm pretty sure... maybe that he does not appear until later in the game. And so I've already run around Hyrule clockwise twice and I have not found him. So pretty sure that's the case now. So we are just gonna go we've done a few side quests here and we have not we've not done the main storyline. So I think we're gonna do Zora's Domain now. How was my, this was the deal last time. I think I figured out that the audio delay was from me switching cameras. If I switch cameras too long, when it comes back, for whatever reason, the audio is delayed. So hopefully, since I haven't switched cameras today, it should be alright. Alright, we're gonna head to Zora's Domain. That stall child ran into the water. Looks and sounds good. Okay, yeah, I think that must have been it. I had a setting that I adjusted the last time, and then I still had the issue. And when I went back to watch my stream, it was fine up until I switched cameras. So the audio has a hard time keeping up, I guess. If I do that. I'm sure there's a way to fix that, but it's annoying. I also went to, before you join the live stream, I went to a spot in the Lost Woods, which I don't normally go to, where you use these Skull Kid masks. So I'm sort of thinking that if you haven't done the mask side quest, then that means you also haven't gotten the weird cutscene in the Lost Woods. That is, you completely don't need to do that to finish this game. But there is a place where all these Deku Scrubs, they give you a Deku Stick upgrade if you talk to all of them. And it's like this weird dancing, I don't know what to call it. It's like they deify you because they think you're one of their gods or something. It's really bizarre. You have to go back in the stream and check it out. Probably about 20-30 minutes or so. I've never gotten that. Yeah, it's legitimately one of the places in Hyrule where if you don't search every nook and cranny of this, there's a secret grotto in the Lost Woods in one of the locations that's off the path that takes you to the Sacred Forest Meadow. There's 2 Deku Scrubs in the area, and then there's this pocket of butterflies in tall grass I know this is like the weirdest way to explain this, but that's the truth. You go to this spot in the tall grass where there's butterflies, and you fall down a secret grotto, and it is a Deku scrub. It's a rave is what it is. I don't know how to explain it. It's a weird spot in this game that most people don't know about. Alright, we're gonna grab this heart, and then there's another heart down the way. I use my shadow here to line up the heart. There we go. I like your approach to getting that heart piece. Is there a different way to get that heart piece? I think this chicken's gonna fly away. Oh, maybe not. If you can grab it in time, you don't have to go all the way back. Is there... what, how do you get that heart piece? Is there a different way that you do that? I've always done it this way. I know you can also get it as an adult, I guess, and just use like the hover boots. But I do it this way. And the same for this one. You can use the hover boots and grab it. But I've always done it this way. You can jump off the initial platform and throw the Kuko right before you grab the ledge. Oh, right. The only reason I don't do that is because if you're fast enough when you grab the heart piece, you can grab the Kuko so that you can get this second heart piece again. And then the same thing goes for glitching your way through this spot. It's really hard to get because the chicken is like in this weird limbo where it won't let you grab it. It's running away all the way back to its like spawn point. So this is one of those things where you can... there's a spot where the waterfall doesn't hit you. I never get this right, but I know it exists. There's a hitbox on the waterfall, and if you just avoid it by sliding in off to one side, you can get in without having to play Zelda's Lullaby, and apparently speedrunners do this. Oh, there it was. What's funny is now you're not holding a Kuko in your hands. You should be. That would be great. There it is. That's literally the only time I ever even try that, because there's no reason to grab the Kuko and go all the way over after you've done all the heart pieces. I don't ever need to do that again, so that is literally the only time. So I mentioned it in my last stream, there's only 60 rupees in this entire game that you need to finish the game. The first 40 are the Deku shield, which requires 40. You can't get out of the forest without it. And the remaining 20, for a total of 60, is this game. And the reason you need this game is the silver scale. If you don't have the silver scale, then you can't grab the letter that you need to get to Jabu Jabu. So, of course, I'm talking about glitchless. We're not like banging through walls and getting all the way to Ganon's castle in 20 minutes, or whatever it is. I'm talking about exploiting the game's mechanics, not the game's code problems. I've always loved this dive. The only other place you could do that dive is in Gerudo Valley. You get all your rupees back. Oh, he was nice enough to place 2 of them in the same spot. That never happens. I do want to show you guys one more. This is a thing that a lot of people don't know about. Let me go grab the silver scale and I will show you. And this is a point that a lot of people have contentions about. As to, did they forget? They didn't forget. They wanted to maybe add something special to Zora's domain, or maybe even the entrance to a temple or some other sort of thing. If you know what I'm talking about, go ahead and type away before I give away the answer. I'd say there's a very prominent motif of showing you the downsides of greed. Game basically beats you over the head about how stupid money is. Yeah. I think in other Zelda games, money is more important. But in this game, it's just those... Literally, those 2 locations are the only times you ever have to use them. And then you pretty much instantly get your money back, by the way. So that's kind of funny as well. You pull out your sword right before. Okay, so this is super interesting. Over here, I believe it's on this side. And you can't get there. There's a spot over here. Is it here? I don't have a good view of it. Let me see if you can do it from the water. House of Skulltula folks learn the same way. Yeah. Is it there? I believe it's here. I'm trying to get a good view of this. If you know what I'm talking about, there is a spot down here where there is a hole. There is a very specific tunnel that was placed down here, and even if you get the golden scale, which allows you to go 8 meters down or whatever it is, there's no way to access this tunnel. And some people speculate as to whether the original location of Zora's fountain, where Jabu Jabu is, I think I had it in the right spot. It's over here. I think it's just hard to see. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but there is absolutely a tunnel down here. It's right there. I don't know if you can make it out. There is a tunnel that's like a perfectly square cutout. Perfectly square cutout. And people think that maybe that was an original water temple, or maybe it was a way into Zora's fountain where you didn't have to do this whole letter shenanigans or whatever. And because they froze over Zora's domain as an adult, you can't really use your boots to get down here. The place doesn't exist anymore as an adult. So it's just weird that this was placed here. Is that the right spot? Now I can't see it. I'm trying to get like the best angle of this, but there's absolutely a square hole. This is something you can look up. Probably a Reddit thing you can look up, but it's absolutely there. I don't know how well it's looking on the stream. Was it there or was it over here? Now I don't remember. Yeah, I vaguely remember people talking about that. Yeah. So the whole waterfall thing is what, when it's frozen over, you can no longer access it. Yeah, it's not on this pillar. It's definitely on the other side where I was talking about it. Just a weird thing. Like there's vestiges, I guess if that's the right word, of game development that either they forgot to take things out, things like that. It only appears at a certain angle, but it's absolutely there. You can see my shadow. If you look closely, you can see Link's shadow underneath the water. And if you don't line it up just perfectly, it won't show you that entrance. I think it's right there. If you're looking at, like, I'm trying to get it as central as possible because it is hard to see. Even on my screen, it's hard to see. I can't imagine what it looks like on your screen. Anyway, something maybe to look up. What if any of the developers had anything in particular to say about it. But always found that interesting. Alright, we're gonna pop into where we're supposed to be going. You see it? Okay, good. I'm not just like talking out of my ass. You did see it. I hope. This is interesting as well. If you've never been, you know how every time you come into a new place on the map, you get a little cinematic cutscene? I have not been to Lake Hylia, but because you come in through this portal instead of the main entrance, you don't get that cutscene. And you can avoid that cutscene all the way to when you come and do the water temple as an adult. So I always thought that was also interesting. So I'm in Lake Hylia, and I actually want to test something. Before I go back to Zora's Domain, I want to go over to the fishing pond. And you can potentially get the cutscene for Lake Hylia. You can potentially get it after coming out of the door from the fishing pond. So let's go try that. There's Saria trying to talk to me. Or Navi trying to get me to talk to Saria, which we've already done. So there's the whole fishing pond deal. I'm not going to do that right now. Okay, so if we walk out this door, because we've never officially been to Lake Hylia. Have you gotten the 2 heart pieces over by Gerudo? No, I have not. I have not even gone to Gerudo. Weird. That is weird. So, again, we do not get a cutscene for Lake Hylia. You only get the cutscene if you come in through the main entrance. The game wants you to come in through the main entrance, so let's do that. Isn't that weird? Also, can we do the Scarecrow song while we're here? This may help us grab some much needed gold Skulltulas later. I am Bonuru, the Scarecrow musical genius. I hear a song once and I never forget it, baby. Well, you have an ocarina. Hey, why don't you lay a tune on me with it, baby? This is always like Zelda's Lullaby plus Down C. Because it's the easiest way to do it. Well, not bad. I will remember it for you anyway. I don't mean I can remember only 8 notes, but let's just cut it right there for now. That's funny. So, you need the Scarecrow song to get certain gold Skulltulas within, hold on a second. Within, certain dungeons. My name is Pierre, the Wandering Scarecrow. Actually, I wish I could wander to look for soul-moving sounds, but I'm kind of stuck here. Fantastic tune, it touches my heart. If you come up with a nice song, come back and let me hear it. So I think as an adult you have to come back and play the song, and then you're allowed to use the Scarecrow song. But what I was talking about earlier, let's test that thing that I was just talking about, where it will only allow you to see the cutscene if you come in through the main entrance. So if you come in through the fishing pond, and you come in through... Well, actually, before I leave, because I will have ruined it, let's go to the laboratory and do the same thing. Is it written in the game code that you only get that cutscene if you come in through that side, as opposed to any of these other ones? There's always good old A button times 8. Oh, yeah. I'm researching the process of making medicine by mixing Lake Hylia's water with various unusual compounds. She's like a student of mine. So this just adds to all the funny gossip between the carpenter, the carpenter's son, who is pretty a depressing character, and the old hag, who they're all poachers, the potion shop, and now apparently the old lady is a student of this laboratory scientist. And yeah, there's just a lot of that. Also, this was something I read about much later as well. You can't see it, I don't think, right now, You can sort of see it. Apparently the reason, when you come down here as an adult and you put the iron boots on, you can go down there and look at, there's a shark that's stuck in the cage. And apparently the developers thought it would be really funny to put a shark there, and the reason was because they really hated Game Shark and all like the codes and stuff. That JPEG shark still creeps me out. Yeah, it's just like a flat texture, but apparently it was an ongoing joke of trying to cage up and imprison Shark being Game Shark or Game Genie and all of that stuff. They did not like that stuff at Nintendo. And so that's what it's kind of an inside joke for them to cage up the shark. But anyway, I always thought that was interesting. Still no cutscene. So the only other place would be the water temple, which you can't get in as a kid. And there's a secret grotto over there where the owl is sitting. I'm not going to go out of my way to do that. So I'm going to pop out, go into Hyrule Field, and then I bet you the cutscene will pop out as soon as I come back in. Navi's just annoying me at the moment. Okay, so if I pop back in, I'm gonna get the cutscene. Child me needed help beating Control on 007. Other than that, Game Shark is for noobs. Yeah. I've never used a Game Shark. Here we go. We get the Hylia, Lake Hylia cutscene. Yeah. That's funny. Oh, I think there's a Zora here. Have you seen anything strange in the lake? The river carries many things into this lake. So the idea being that the lake is carried over. If you follow, I've never actually done this, but if you follow the water system from, I guess, Gerudo and part of the castle. So like the castle has a moat around it and it feeds into a wall that kind of feeds around Gerudo. And then there's a big old waterfall in Gerudo Valley. And then Gerudo Valley's water system leads into Lake Hylia. There's not many other water systems. I guess it all starts at Zora's Fountain. I guess that's the main spring. And if you trace it all the way around, it goes Zora's Fountain into Zora's Domain. Zora's Domain has the river, of course, which leads all the way back to and around the castle. And then that western part of the castle has another bit of water. So I guess the system actually is planned out pretty nicely. But there aren't any other water locations. I guess you could say that the water that leads you to the Lost Woods from that little portal technically connects Kokiri Forest and that water system over. So, yeah, actually. I never thought of it that way, but yeah, those are all connected. So you could take the flow of water from all of those systems and expand them out. Someone did a video on Breath of the Wild and where all the water sources led to, or where they spawn. What's the main spring in the game? And I think they determined that they couldn't find a spot that was like the rational spring where all the water sources actually began. Whereas the size of this game allows it to be pretty reasonable, I would assume. So I think the same guy, this was on YouTube, this same guy did it for like Skyrim and a few other games. And it's just hard to track all of these things as games get bigger and bigger, and just harder to be able to rationally put a world together like that. So I don't know. I think that's interesting that if you're trying to follow a certain logic to get around a game like that, that this one actually does a pretty good job when you think about it. It's very simple, but it works. And then the more complicated games, that's you could call it a point of failure, or a point where you have to suspend your disbelief that these water systems just exist for no other reason than they put them there. I do know you should definitely not drink the water in Kakariko. Oh, the grave, yeah. All of the bloody waters in the bottom of the well. That would be a ground water system for inside the inside this game. In order to save time, we're going to grab this fish instead of doing it later, but I have to drink this milk. I don't know how long it took me the first time I did this, way back in '99, I guess, to figure out that you could feed a fish to Lord Jabu Jabu. I did know that you could buy a fish from here, but I didn't have enough rupees at the time. So there, I believe there's a fish here. Yeah, it's 200 rupees, and I was like, it was early enough in the game that I didn't know about the gold skulltulas and the upgrades to the adult wallet. So I was like, how the hell do you even buy this fish? You know, if you've never seen the adult wallet, you don't know that that's a possibility. And so I never figured that out. I think a friend may have told me, or I saw someone do it. Oh, you just feed a fish to the to Jabu Jabu. Alright, here we go. Alright, for all you Zelda fans out there, how many mweeps? How many mweep? How many of those? Place your bets now. My bet is we're gonna go over under 20. I'm gonna go over 20, under 25. Alright? Think of a number. Place it. I want you to type it in the chat before I before I give King Zora this letter. 36? That's way over. That's way over, my friend. Here we go. Over 20, under 25. He called me a hoe. He said, ho, this letter. Our guardian god, Lord Jabu Jabu, would never eat my dear Princess Ruto. But since that stranger, Ganondorf, came here, Lord Jabu Jabu has been a little green around the gills. The evidence seems clear. Of course, you'll go find Ruto. You can pass through here to the altar of Lord Jabu Jabu. I'll keep this letter. You keep the bottle it was in. Take it respectfully. Okay, I think if I press the button, we start the mweeps. Here we go. Alright, here it is. Let's start counting. Gen Nasty, 17. Alright. You guys are way over under. Oh, Link Slayer, just in time. You are just in time. Place your bet. Place your bet. I said between 20 and 25. I believe the actual number might be 25. So, what do you think? Before I press this button, give me a number. How many mweeps? How many mweeps do we hear? And how long are we going to sit here? That could be another one. I think it's about 25 too, but I will guess 26 to be different. 26. All right. $1, Bob. I said, yeah, I said between 20 and 25. I think it's right at 25. All right. Let's go. We're going to start counting now. That's 10. Oh, I counted 25, but to Linkslayer's credit, 26, he started to move, but then he didn't audibly say mweep. So, I think 25 was the actual audible number of mweeps. So there you have it. Dang. That was nighttime? Alright. 25 mweeps. You can, so if you ever get asked on the Millionaire Show, you know the answer. Or you can call me, and I'll let you know if you forget. Or if you just want to be fun at parties. Wear your how many mweeps shirt to a party. I'm gonna go get Furor's Wind. Can you get Furor's Wind? Or do you have to wait till a little bit later? You don't even need Furor's Wind, but I did make an interesting video about how you can use Furor's Wind to get... I wanted to test out if you can get into the bottom of the well using Furor's Wind, and to my surprise, you can get to the bottom of the well, but you can't go any further in. You can get it now. Okay. Yeah, because it's one of these. So that secret grotto there gives you, supposedly, the last Skulltula that's in the game is in through here. And the reason people call it the last one in the game, I think, is strictly because of the game guide that came out in the late 90s. And there's Skulltulas protecting the last gold Skulltula all the way up. Yeah, you can't get this until you have the silver gauntlets. You pop this up, you go down a series of tunnels, and then it's funny because it takes you all the way up to a spot up there. Yeah, it's up there. But anyway. Oh, the thing with Furor's Wind is I wanted to test if you could place one down as a kid, come back as an adult, and it would still take you to that same spot. But apparently the short answer is it dispels it when you go across time. But it will let you get back in so long as you're in the same timeline. So the idea originally was to try to get into the bottom of the well as an adult, because as an adult it's closed off. It's just like a big steel plate. There's a Skulltula over there to the right of the ferry location. Yes. I don't have the... I know the one on the log is attainable, but I don't have a boomerang because I haven't done Jabu Jabu yet. So the fire in here is green, and it matches Furor's Wind, which is cool. But then the Din's Fire one was also green. So I think the fire thing is only attached to, is this a magic meter or like the heart thing later, or is it one of these diamond looking emerald things? Because to me it made sense that Din's fire would be red fire and then you'd have blue fire for Nairu's love, but apparently that's not the case. So, just strange. A little late, but did you ever see the video short of someone getting up, cleaning the house, and making a snack while King Zora does his thing? Yeah, I did. People like put the endless amount of time and just start doing everything in the meantime. There were a few of those. I don't think that was the only one. I think there was a guy who he took a picture of his baby who looked very much like he does, and then he just aged like 30 years. He's like still waiting on King Zora to move. I think there's one here. Yep, there's a Skulltula here. Yeah, the other one is on that log. That's the one you were talking about at nighttime. It's up on the wall, right up there. But I don't have the boomerang to get it. So, I won't worry about it until after Jabu Jabu's belly. So let's get that started. Also, I'm not sure if the map... So the map does show, this is Jabu Jabu, right here. But when you come back as an adult, I don't remember if Jabu Jabu shows up on the map still, or if they just, in place of Jabu Jabu, it's like a piece of, like the ice, because this all turns to ice. But anyway, so Jabu Jabu is not fleshy, he's apparently made of steel. So... you feed him the fish, and I think you can miss. If you go too far away, it will miss. Which is annoying, because then you either have to buy a fish or know where to get one. Every time I come in here, it's like, this is gross. This is grosser than I thought it was. How many teeth? My favorite thing to do in this whole Jabu Jabu is when you have Prince Rudo, there's a switch that you can hit without using the slingshot. You just throw her, and if you aim it right, you can hit the switch without using the slingshot. It's not defeating Baronade or anything like that. It's throwing Rudo on the switch. And the fact that you can use this box later. This is like the grossest sound I know of in this whole game. You can kill enemies with her too. Yeah, you can do the entire bubble. Oh, I found a spot that doesn't respond. What is that? He stopped responding. Okay. Because it's not a flat wall. Now it is. That sound is like, why are you hitting me? Why are you cutting my esophagus? And there's blue blood? I don't know. Alright. All these ulcers, I guess, everywhere. All these holes. Beery. If you touch it, you will be electrocuted. When I was playing Link to the Past, all of the times, Rudo, if you go back 2 seconds, Rudo was not there. I Z-targeted Rudo, but there was nothing there. And then until the cutscene came up, now Rudo just appeared. Nintendo logic: when you leave her behind, she takes the time to go all the way back. The time to go all the way back instead of escaping. Yeah. Well, she doesn't want to escape. She's here for the spiritual stone. I bet the smell is gnarly in there. Yeah. Well, it's not a dead fish. It's a sick fish, though. So, yeah, maybe you're right. Letter in a bottle. Oh, I was saying the berry in Link to the Past drove me absolutely nuts. All right, drop into this place. You still hanging around here? I told you to go away. Whale breath, yeah. The worst whale breath. All of these sphincters are open. It's sort of funny how their deity is this. I don't know if Jabu Jabu is technically a whale, or if it's a big fish. Like the way the fins look, I think it's a fish, and the Zora are fish. They're not mammalian whales, but now we're getting real nitpicky about taxonomy. I am a biologist, so. Is this the spot? No, this is not the spot. Also, the bubbles don't hurt you. They don't take away hearts, but they are annoying if you get hit by one of them. So, what are these things called? I never remember. Just a stinger? Okay. The easiest way to take these things out is to have them pop up into the air. There we go. And when it dive bombs you, again, I didn't take any hearts away, but even though it touched me technically. Alright, if you can do this fast enough, you can press the switch. Of course I got stuck in. There we go. You can grab the gold Skulltula and then get over there in time. Oh, I messed up. I messed up because I got my sword out. And I was trying to read. Really? Then what is your take on having both gills and lungs for a Zora? My take is there actually are, on an evolutionary basis, there are fishes from the... I do say fishes because the difference between fish and fishes is about populations, not about individuals. But I digress on that. There are cases of Sarcopterygians way back when, we're talking like more than 600 million years ago, where they indeed have lungs. And there's also things called lungfish. So they have to adjust the size of their lungs so that they can float in and out of different water level systems for them to be able to oxygenate. So the gill is a predecessor to the lung, but also there are versions of species at that time that in fact have both. And even in humans now, the evolutionary progress of the gills and what are known as like the serrato-hyangular, I don't remember the names. You can look them up. It's been a long time since I've studied chordate anatomy, especially in evolutionary terms. But you asked, and motherfucker, you're getting it. That is all the stuff that happens on the evolutionary basis of chordates. We're not just talking about like mammals and all of that stuff. So, long story short, totally possible, indeed, has already happened. Just because something needs oxygen doesn't necessarily mean it has to have the lungs. That's obviously true with fish, but then eventually that was the case. So, I think that's the first time I've heard you swear. No, no way. No, it's not. I am sincerely interested. I like science and biology, so thanks. Yeah, no, if you seriously do like that stuff, definitely look up there's something called Meckel's cartilage, which is the predecessor to the mandible, because this was not this was known as a different type of bone. So there's endochondral bone and the other type of bone, which was like predecessor to cartilage. So that's why there's a difference between osteichthyine fishes and what sharks are, which now I have forgotten. There's a class of sharks just called elasmobranchs, but then those are part of chondrichthyes, I believe, is where sharks are placed taxonomically. This is the switch I was talking about. But anyway, that is why chondrichthyans, which are sharks, are cartilaginous instead of hard bone like the other osteichthyine fishes. Anyway, do you believe in Bigfoot? I believe that there are giant mammals in places, and that anytime people take videos of UFOs, it's always some white guy with a bad cell phone. I digress. I won't get further into that. Do I believe in Bigfoot? I believe it's really easy to mistake a bear from a distance. I believe that. Or other mammals in the dark. I believe we have explored more of our solar system space than we have of the seas on our own planet. I believe there is a little bit of truth to every story, legend, or myth. Yeah, absolutely. They have to be based in something. But you know how bad humans are. Humans are with their senses. So it is totally easy that people have mistaken something for something that has a reasonable explanation. I never remember the order in which you have to do this stuff. I know there is an order. There's one on the other side. Okay, I can't do this one yet. So if you wait too long, she goes back to her main spot. But if you come out like immediately, you can still pick her up from this very same spot. Okay, so I believe there's a yellow switch on the opposite side. Yeah. Here we go. I mean, kind of weird that all over the world there are different versions of Bigfoot for even where I live or go. Yeah, like the Yeti, the abominable snowman, and all that stuff. I mean, humans converge on ideas, so I don't think it's that weird. There are plenty of floods in the history of mankind that people have pointed to, and then religions have been created thus far. So I don't want to piss anyone off on a Zelda Ocarina of Time live stream, so I won't say too much more on that subject. But the idea being that just because one human can make up one story, or see something, or think they saw something, and then tell 20 people. You know that game of telephone that we all played in elementary school, where the idea is you tell one fact to someone, and then the next person is supposed to tell that fact to the next person by whispering in their ear, and by the time you get to the end of the line, someone has heard some awful gossip about someone that is not true? Well, now do that with 8.5 billion people. So that's how I feel. Unless something is measured and done with precision and is repeatable and falsifiable, which is what we call science in the scientific method, then everything else inherently does not fall into that category. That doesn't mean it's less valid. That just means it's part of the human condition to deal with things outside of those matters. Hey, we have the boomerang. That's the other one. Similar thing with dragons. I like cultures that have dragon lore. Yeah, dragons are great. Fantastic dragons. There's all sorts of lizards that have like wingy looking flaps and things like that. So that's the other one. Yeah, lizard that was able to fly is kind of believable to me. I mean, we already have that, right? We have pterosaurs in the dinosaur history. So it's not unbelievable at all. The breathing fire part is interesting. But we already have lizards that can fly. They're called birds. All right. Okay, so now Rudo is gone, and you do have to go to the other spot. These things are weird that you can't, they don't always... Tail Passaran. Tail Passaran? Its tail is its weak point. There's obscure enemies in many Zelda games, and I don't remember the names of stuff, so I like to check on these sometimes. This is just a weird... You don't ever see these again. They kind of look like something you'd find in Link to the Past as one of the bosses. But then you never come into contact with anything like this. I can't... Can you guys think of an example in a different Zelda game of these electric-looking things? And if they even have the same name or not? Okay, we're gonna go grab Rudo again. This one always strikes me as different. I think this is one you have to hit. Okay. And it pops out more berry. Which is interesting. Aren't they in Link's Awakening? Are they in Link's Awakening? I'm trying to think of the worm things that come out of the worm things that come out of the ground. Yeah, but they aren't electric. They're more of like a centipede looking thing, right? I think I know the ones you're talking about. I've never highlighted them. There's no Navi in Link's Awakening, so whatever it's called, you don't have an actual name. But yeah, they're more like... They look more like centipedes that grab you. They grab you with their claws. And they look like that one boss. Rather than being electrified, whatever. I guess they're parasites inside of this thing, but some of them are just straight up jellyfish, so... I don't know. Oh, I know what you mean. It'd be a different version, though. It took me a second there. Yeah. I don't know. Okay, so now that we have the boomerang, we can do this thing. And she's already off, like she came off of the button. So she's angry that you're in here at all. If you just like strafe around this thing, it's no problem at all. But if you stand right underneath it, this turd looking thing smacks you. Is this the map or the compass or something? I don't think I got the map or the compass in the Deku tree. Not that I care to get it, but... Princesses, am I right? Well, excuse me, princess. I like, is the map actually anywhere close to what it looks like? I don't think it is. I wonder if this type of stuff will be more challenging in the remake. Yeah, good point. I wonder if they will. If they'll change up the way you attack things. Oh, okay. I'm glad she's still there. In the next one, I think it's the bubble thing. Okay, now you can go in here. The red slimy thing's gone. You'll never look at deer sausage the same way again. Okay, this is the one where you blow up the... You gotta take the bubbles. That one did not hit me with any damage. Did you buy a Switch 2 yet? No, I have not. I have too many games to get through on this channel. And the Switch 2 has currently only 2 games I'm interested in, both of which are already games that I own. They're just the remakes of them. You ever just run into bubbles just to get them done? I have found that the boomerang is much faster if you don't mess up like I did a couple times. You can just run into them, but you stubbing your toe, the animation is kind of slow. Not that it matters now, because I'm taking all of my time talking to the chat, which is a lot more fun than just running through everything. But yeah, the short answer is that the boomerang's faster than stubbing your toe 12 times. If you want to go about it that way. Oh, we already did this. Why am I pressing on this button again? I think there's one more before the main one. Okay. Yeah, I think this one, It's cool how this is like, one, it moves you. It's like an elevator. This is like a DVD commentary run. I love it, man. I've played this game a million times, so yeah. I appreciate that comment. It's like a DVD commentary run, which I love, by the way. You guys ever watch like Lord of the Rings Extended Edition with a commentary? There's a really funny one with all the hobbits. The actors who play the hobbits, like Dominic Monaghan and what's Billy Boyd and Elijah Wood, Sean Astin. They all sit in a room, and at the very end of that long commentary, which, as you know, is like 12 hours long, and you're just hearing the audio of them speaking about everything. All of a sudden, one of them, I think the guy who plays Pippin, he says, this was really fun. It's been very long, but why are we all doing this naked? Like, why are we naked doing this commentary? I thought that was hilarious. All right, here's the main hall. I take care of the berry first. Why are they called berry, by the way? It sounds like a very Italian word for jellyfish. Or I realize that the boss's name is Baronade, so maybe it's just the little version of the big jellyfish. This one is green, by the way. The main obstruction is green. This hemorrhoid is green. Whereas the other ones were red. Alright, so the entire purpose of taking out that central column one was to now take out the one that's in the main room, which I believe was this one. Alright, we're not going to mess this up, but there are definitely other locations to other places in the map of this game. I always like backflipping when I get a Skulltula with a boomerang. I messed it up. If you can catch it where it freeze frames it, then you're mid backflip, and I think that looks cool. I have no other reason than thinking that is just cool. There it is, mid backflip. There you go, screenshot that. So, I think there is one thing where there was a room that you can't get into, or maybe I couldn't figure out how to get into in Jabu Jabu's belly, so all of the rooms that are not lit up. There was one, even in a run of 100%, there was like a room that I never got into, and there's no Skulltula or anything, because there's only like 3, I believe, in this dungeon, if you call it a dungeon. And I can't remember if it was like one of these holes that you drop into pops you out into that side, or I don't know. I think that's just the main one we came down the first time. But then there's another room somewhere else that drops you into a different location. I can't remember. We're gonna go this way anyway. There we have it. Isn't there supposed to be like a mythical secret extra heart piece somewhere in here? Yeah, that's maybe one of the things where it like loads, but it's not, it doesn't actually add to your count or something weird. Maybe I'm thinking of something else. There's too many Zelda games in my head. Here's something else that's funny. I think I did it on my last playthrough as well. This mini boss that we're about to fight, you don't spawn him until you try to get on this platform. So you can walk all the way around and nothing happens. Pretty sure it's possible to get in the platform and skip the mini boss. The only one I can think of is the Gerudo Fortress Kid Link extra piece. Yes, the one that's, if you get past the Gerudo Bridge and get all the way to the fortress where they throw you in the prison, and then you have to hookshot your way up, there is a heart piece there. You're supposed to hookshot over to it because it's like a wooden chest that you can long shot your way over to. But if you get there as a kid, it's sitting on the platform rather than being a target for your hookshot. And I think it adds, I think you can physically open the chest and grab it, but I don't remember if it adds to your count, which is like weird. Like the game's code won't let you have it or something along those lines. It's difficult and rare though. Yeah. This is one of those mini bosses as well where you can do it pretty quickly if you get lucky with the boomerang, because he keeps spinning around, and if you get unlucky, he keeps showing his front to you instead of his backside, which is what you need to hit. So again, I was saying you can walk all the way around this room and nothing happens until, oh, okay, maybe not, or maybe I got close by accident. I still wonder if that is also randomized in a yeah, I've always asked that question about basically anything in the randomizer. See if you can get it in the platform. No, there's spikes, so you can't really do anything. Okay, so he spins around. Yeah, if you're unlucky, you get like into this vicious cycle of he only shows you the front. If you get far away, yeah, that's what's happening to me now. One Deku stick? Can you do it with one Deku stick? I don't know. Let's try that. I don't think so. I think it's at least 2 Deku sticks. Did we get him? Ah, you were right. 1 Deku stick. We broke that off on his ass. Alright, so what were you talking about, this platform? As soon as I get on here, it goes all the way up. So, was there something else before getting on this platform? See if you can get in the platform. I'm just running around. See if you guys, I think it's possible to get on it before the fight. I don't know how though, because there's no, like, the spikes are in your way. You mean there's got to be some way to like get on the platform and have that happen? I don't know. One of these is a fairy. Not that I need fairies, but I do have these empty bottles, so. Mega jump. Okay. Mega jump meaning like using the bomb move. Placing yourself just right, putting your shield out, back flipping, all of that stuff. It's a pretty hardcore exploit. Or bomb hovering, yeah. I don't want to use my fairy by accident. Oh, an exploit, not a glitch. Yeah. Oh, of course it would hit me. This, you have to be like a certain distance away, otherwise this thing is gonna... Oh, you're asking. Oh, I don't know. What are you asking about again? As to whether there's a way to get to jump using the mega jump thing. Or bomb. Oh, an exploit, not a glitch. Yeah, I like to ask in terms of exploiting the mechanics, not necessarily glitches. I think glitches are like the extra step to just sort of cheating, as opposed to, oh, I just, you know, I exploited a bomb move to get myself over to a platform. I think that is essentially okay. Yeah, I don't think it requires bomb hover. Okay. I see. Alright, this is the thing. I think one time I went over here and I broke those crates. And then I forgot and I was confused. Like, where do I go? And it's this spot right here. The entire time. One of these gives you a heart and then the other one doesn't give you anything. Oh no, I know what happened is I tried to place the crate down and because I was moving it decided to throw it rather than drop it. Yeah, I don't think it requires bomb hover. Okay, so drop. Because bomb hover requires infinite sword glitch. Yeah. I missed my Z target for that. It took me... This is still confusing to me. This platform up here. To me, it looks like it's a spider web. Like, why the hell are there spider webs inside of a... the nastiest words I'm about to say here is a wet, juicy inside of a digestive system. Why are there spider webs? And so this, even though it's like a glass or something, you can't just hit through. So, you know, normally you would do this, but then the game is kind of telling you, nah, fool, use your boomerang. You can pause buffer and get that door open without putting something on the switch. Oh, the wooden box switch. Is that what you're talking about? Alright. I think this goes right into the Baronade fight. I know that one, like how you can get into the stone tower without the elegy of emptiness with pause buffer in Majora's Mask. I've seen people hit that switch from the ground. Oh yeah, I guess you could do that. Like you could do it from here, maybe? I don't know. Huh. It's like very strategically placed around webs. So, I'm sure you can find another way to hit it, but I mean, I always do it the way the game wants you to, I guess. Alright, let's fight. Let's fight some Baronade. Electrified. Bonus points if you get the name right. Like, exactly. I think it's electrified. It's like parasitic electrified jellyfish Baronade or so, I don't know. Something crazy. I always like how they add subtitles. Bioelectric anemone Baronade. I was way off. Whoop. Let's do our Deku Stick. Let's break all our Deku Sticks. Oh, I messed up. I messed up my last hit. Now I'm just embarrassing myself. Alright. I don't think it matters how much damage you do in the opening sequence of any boss fight until you get to the last phase of it that actually will kill it. Meaning I shouldn't have wasted 6 Deku. That's what I'm trying to say. I shouldn't have wasted 6 Deku Sticks. It makes more sense in the long game. I always like to go around and take these out, because then it makes it harder. Woo. Got me. Each hit counted toward a jellyfish. Oh. There's no way to hit the thing from here. Alright. There we go. I like how it turns into just a pile of ugh. So technically it was faster. Okay, that's fair enough. That was green like Ganon's blood in the 1.2 version. So I guess green is alright, but we should see some red for Ganon later. Alright. I'd rate you 8 out of 10 on that boss fight. Seemed pretty advanced. On my method, or just because I got hit? I don't usually get hit, but I'm trying to, like, I don't know. I'm sort of approaching the game a little differently than if I were, like, just trying to speed run through stuff. I'm not using that as an excuse, because like I said, I much prefer looking at the chat and talking to you guys about how you guys do this. Because I've been stuck in my ways for 30 years. If there are other ways to do it that are more efficient, or even ways that are not efficient but are really fun, oftentimes when you're in like the heat of a boss fight, you're not looking at other things like different textures and things around the room, things that developers would put in the game and most people don't notice. One retro achievement requires you to beat him in a fixed time and without damage. Yeah, for sure. I want that stone. Oh, I definitely... Okay, this is a point in the game where you either have to get the last Deku Nut upgrade or you get locked out of doing it. So the 3DS version doesn't lock you out because they fixed it. So you got to do it now before we go get the Master Sword. And then also, if you haven't seen the Castle Guard, we're going to do that now. This lore of this Castle Guard who, you know, you get to hear his last dying words. It's sort of a creepy moment because you can go your entire time playing this game for many years, and if you never talk to that guard at this specific time, you'll never see him. You gonna do bugs and beans before adulthood? I mean, you can't do all of them. I don't think I'm gonna do all of those, only because I've already 100%ed this game on a different playlist. I also don't have enough rupees. You need a hell of a lot of rupees to buy all 10 beans, because they get more expensive. Not to mention that there are entire places we haven't even accessed yet, like the Spirit Temple and where else have we not accessed that would allow, like the bug ports. There's 10 of those as well. Alright, now that we do have the boomerang, there's actually a lot more gold skulltulas we can get as well. I like to at least get myself to, I'm so used to my slingshot being in left C. I pulled a Deku stick out. One thing I thought is that they could easily make fake spiritual stones with gold and rupees. Red, green, and blue. Oh, like trick you into getting the wrong spiritual stone. You could also, oh, I missed. Again, the same question for the randomizer. Imagine you finish a dungeon and you're supposed to get the spiritual stone and she hands you a green rupee. And then you end up finding the spiritual stone in like a small treasure chest in some random part of Hyrule instead. Like, is that how truly random randomizers can get? Or are like the core elements of the game, those remain? Like, you're not gonna go lift the Master Sword and it's just like a Deku seed, is it? That would be funny. Here's Princess Rudo. Oh, that happened a lot with Jabu's, and the part that sucks that I can see in the Octorok room. Oh yeah, there's that Octorok room you could dive underneath. I think maybe that's what you're talking about. You dive underneath and get the, I don't know if it's just like another Deku Baba or something. Okay, is there anything else we can get while we're here? Or did we pretty much do all of it? We got that heart piece. Oh, many of you, yeah, the large... Oh, okay, the Octorok in the mini boss, you mean. I don't know who all was here when I was showing you guys this, but does anyone else in the chat know about this thing? There is a hole down here. It's a tunnel that apparently was... Maybe the developers were thinking of putting the water temple down here, or there was some other way to get into Zora's Fountain, like alternatively. And it's down here. I know it's very hard to see, but it's absolutely there. And there's a lot of online speculation as to what this is. But you can't get down there. Even if you have the golden scale to dive all the way down, it's not enough to get down there. So... I don't know. Again, there's a lot of speculation about this thing down here. It's hard to see from this specific angle, but it's there. I've sort of centraled. I put it right in the middle of the screen. Right there. Anyway. Of course, when you come back as an adult, you can't... Because this is all frozen over, you can't get into it. But I think people have glitched their way into this, like a wall, you know, clip themselves through a wall type of situation. And it's viewable, but it's still not accessible. So, just one of those things. Even in the crossover game, Banjo-Kazooie jiggles time if there is a secret area there for a jiggle. Yeah. there is this gold Skulltula here. Before it turns to daytime. Because that always seems to happen to me. Alright. There's also another one on this wall. I don't know if I can get it during the... I don't know if it's only Adult Link who can get it. It might just be Adult Link. It's up here on this wall. And Ganondorf is in the dungeon playing Link to the Past. Link to the Past version of Hyrule Castle is absolutely the best. I think you need the long shot, yeah. I do think you're right. It's not just you need the long shot. I think it only appears as an adult. So yeah. This was one, I think it was the last one I got in my other playthrough where I purposely 100%ed the game. It was the last one that was there. And that was annoying for sure. And not just that one, there's also one on this wall as well. And then there's one on the other end of it. I think I need a chicken to get over there though. I can't do it. However, there is one on the ladder. Yeah, we got the ladder one. Then there's one over here. If you stand on this platform, which I can't get to without the chicken, and you go up the ladder and look across to the left side, then that's where you get that. So you were asking me if I was going to do the bean thing. I don't think I'm going to do the bean thing. I think it's extra. Looks like you've gotten bigger and stronger. Did I skip the owl? He's not supposed to be here, is he? Just ahead lies Zora's domain. Oh, thank you. I already got the spiritual stone. I absolutely skipped this owl somehow. How's that possible? You have to come through here. And I didn't use like the Lost Woods or anything. I mean, at least buy 3 beans. Alright, I'll buy some beans for you, Dunk Nasty. Their door will not open for anyone. He's given me all this information that you're supposed to get earlier. I don't remember skipping by him. But apparently I did. That's really weird. Alright, I'll buy 3 beans. I think that's all I have money for. I think the first one is 10. The second one's 20. The third one's 30. So that puts me right at 60. Good math, Dunk Nasty. The crater one isn't optional. The crater one? I don't know what you're talking about. You don't need magic beans for this game at all. I think you're talking about a heart piece for the crater, but that's what I'm saying is you don't need, I don't need the heart pieces. Yeah, I think this one, I think the magic bean thing is not necessary at all. How did I get more rupees? I thought I only had... Or maybe I just did my math wrong. Or no, that was my second bean set. Okay. There we go. Now I don't have enough. The next one would be 40. I don't have 40 rupees. So yeah, I should have the 3. Helpful for Bigoron Sword. Yeah, I guess that's true. This one is helpful for Bigoron Sword, which is also not necessary. But I do think I want to do the Bigoron Sword just because it makes things a lot more fun later. So, yeah, that's a fair point. There are quite a few heart pieces you can get with future items, but as far as the Bigoron Sword, yeah. I think I may try to do the hard route on the Bigoron Sword just for fun. And by hard route, I mean Death Mountain. I'll try to get the Bigoron Sword as early as I possibly can. And the earliest that you can, I believe, is after the Forest Temple. I'm not sure if you can get it before the Forest Temple. Can you get it? Let me think for a second. Can you get it before the forest temple? You have the mushroom thing. The sacred forest grove, I don't think you need. I think you could get the Bigoron sword before the forest temple. It's just more difficult, but... You need a hook shot, I think. Maybe not. Maybe not even that. I think it makes it easier, but that's not a requirement. You just need Epona, yeah. I think you absolutely need Epona. So I got Epona's song already because that's the thing. If you don't have... No, I think you need Epona. I don't think you can make... There's no way you can run to Death Mountain to Lake Hylia. There's no way you can do that. And if you also can't warp. And you don't have enough warp songs either if you try to do it before that. So yeah. But anyway, if you don't get Epona's song before you become an adult, then you get locked out of the Master Sword to become a kid again by Sheik standing in front of it until you're done with the Forest Temple. So, Linkslayer said, yo, you did it? You did it without Epona? It's like 4 minutes with seconds to spare. I think I did, even with Epona, getting up Death Mountain Trail, I only had, I think, a maximum of like 30 seconds left. So that's crazy if you did it without Epona. Gangster stuff, Linkslayer. Yeah. You either took some nasty route, because I don't know how you could do that, really. I'm trying to avoid doing the cutscene for this, because I'm thinking of the Deku Nut upgrade. There's 2 upgrades, and I don't remember. One of them is in one of the secret grottos in Hyrule, and the second one, I don't remember. I did it in the other playlist, so I think we're good to go. But I absolutely want to draw your attention to the castle guard, so we're gonna do that for sure. Now that we have all the spiritual stones. Maybe get the Gerudo heart pieces first. Sure, I can do that. There's a couple heart pieces we can get. But I already had the long shot. Oh, the long shot you get in the water temple. So the idea is to try to get the Bigoron sword as early in the game as possible. So if you went halfway through a water temple... Oh, okay, you said the long shot to get across like the Gerudo Bridge and stuff like that. See, to me that's not worth it, because you'd have to do half a temple to do, you know, 2/3 of a temple to do that. I don't think you can get past the bridge. With the long shot you can, but that's what I'm saying, is it would be a lot of extra work to do that versus just having Epona. So all the good stuff in this 1.0 cartridge is going to be like Fire Temple, Shadow Temple, stuff like that. And Ganon's blood at the end of the game. I will rule the world. Not just Hyrule, but the whole world. Man, I remember back in when this game came out thinking this world was huge. And now it's just like a snippet of other big games. Ganon should probably just kill Link here. Yeah, true. Or even upon your first visit to the castle would have been nice. Let's go grab those 2 heart pieces. I mean, if I wanted to, there'd be a million other things to do before I turned into... Oh, is that the bunny hood guy? I think that's him. We were having trouble finding him earlier. That's him up in the distance. Do you see him? So I usually run around Hyrule in clockwise fashion because he runs around counterclockwise, but that's absolutely him. Let's catch him. Oh, I could do this. He has to stop anyway for you to talk to him, so... He stops at night. There he is. Actually, let's see what he says before I put the mask on. If he will even talk to you. Nope, he will not talk to you. He's got to wait for him to stop running. There it is. Which one do you think is stronger? Hero of Time from all 3 games? From what do you mean all 3 games? This one and Majora's Mask and what, like Twilight Princess, I guess? Or Hero of the Wild? Which one do you think is stronger? Yeah, let me think about that. In old times, I heard there were many wild rabbits in the land of Hyrule. Not anymore, though, because of excessive hunting. I want to become a rabbit. Listen to the wind with those ears. Hop across the ground with those legs. Even if I can only pretend. What if the spirit of the what are they called? They're called bloopies. They look kind of like bunnies in Breath of the Wild. If this is like some sort of ode to that, homage to that. Or if something in like Japanese culture, for example, you know, all of the, was it Shintoism? That's about your environment and like the animals and the spirit of the forest and things like that. If anyone knows anything about, I am fascinated by that sort of stuff. Alright, now we're going to talk to him. He still has a stall child right behind him. I bet with those long ears you can hear the voices. These are Misko's treasures in the wild games. Yes, they are. Yeah. These are genuine rabbit ears from the animal of legend. I don't care how expensive it is. Please sell it to me. My long-time dream. He is so happy. It's a 50 rupee mask, but he paid you a crazy amount of money for it. My wallet is full. Go back to the mask shop and pay back just 50 rupees. Alright, so the next, when he gets up, he absolutely wrecks you if you're in his way. Because when he gets up, he is all of a sudden the fastest human being alive. And the whole marathon mini game apparently was placed just for the sake of, yeah, there you go. I got in his way on purpose to show you that he's a monster now. So the next time you see him is as an adult in the tent in Gerudo Valley. There's no other time in the game. And there's the funny thing, if you guys know about the Marathon Man, is that it's in his code that you cannot beat him. So it's always whatever your time is -1. But if you do the glitch with during the Ganon fight, you can glitch your way over and use, it's like you use the Master Sword as an ocarina. There's a whole situation where if you get over there, you use the countdown clock from escaping Ganon's castle when it's collapsing. That countdown clock, you can use it as a way to make your time faster than it's supposed to be able to be in game. And then there's this really weird number sequence, letter of numbers and numbers and letters, where it's written into the code and you still haven't beaten the guy. It's really weird. It's hard to explain, and it's also not a glitch that I can pull off easily either. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, that's one of those weird things in this game, where the code is written all weird. If Misko's treasures are canon with Link, then Hero of the Wild hands down, in my opinion, since he can get bigger on sword. Let me read that comment after I get this, because I'm not sure I understand. Okay, you wanted this heart piece. Here it is. If Misko's treasures are canon with Link, then Hero of the Wild hands down. Oh, you mean on how strong he is, in my opinion, since he can get bigger on sword. Goddess sword, even the dust sword, but there is the golden gauntlets. Oh, the golden gauntlets in this game, Ocarina of Time. I don't know. Majora's Mask also has the fierce deity, who's like just wrecks everything. So that alone is kind of ridiculous. Yeah, there you go. Dumb nasty. The other one, if we come back here, is apart from this the magic bean up here, I don't have any bugs, so I can't do that. But there's another heart piece in the crate. We'll have to come back to this spot. It's probably way faster just to drop and swim. Is the goddess sword fierce deity's Link sword? Because then in that case, then yeah. If the Hero of the Wild has access to all of those, then there's no reason he wouldn't be strong as well. I think you can use a magic bean here as well to grab this heart piece. So, since I've got these, why not? We can always come by and get it later. Oh, there's the gold Skulltula on the other side of this house. What are we up to, by the way? 23? Okay. I think 30 is kind of like my cutoff. I think 30 is when you get the big, the Giant's wallet. After that, I'm not really interested in more gold Skulltulas, but if you just go through the game, I think you get way more than that. I don't think you have to go out of your way, is what I'm saying, to get gold Skulltulas, to get the regular amount of items and things that you need. Fierce Deity too, it is underpowered in the wild games, but I think that is because of Majora. Yeah. All fair assessments. Is this where the Deku Nut upgrade is? There is a bombable grotto in between these fences here. And I can't remember if this is where you get it, or if this is just the other heart piece. I know there's a heart piece on the other side. So, one of these. This is a heart piece. I can't get this one, can I? Oh no, I can get this one. This is a heart piece. The other one is a heart piece in one of the grottos where there's a Tektite, and you have to be able to dive or use the use your iron boots. But then in one location there's those the business scrubs that give you the upgrades for Deku nuts. I think there's one here. So there's that one. I think there's one here, or maybe I'm just thinking of this spot. Yeah. There's also a grotto near Gerudo's entrance with a Skulltula. Yes, I know the one. I need a fire arrow or Din's fire to open that one up. So, nope, don't need that one. There's also one next to the tree over here. Who in the chat has 100%ed this game? Skulltula's heart pieces. Did you get the cow? The cow is the hardest thing in this whole freaking game. I did a whole separate video of me. It took me like 10 attempts to get the cow. I forgot I need to go back to Gerudo. There's one more heart piece. The pose, all of the upgrades. What else? The Happy Mask shop, all of that stuff. Yeah, the Skulltula you're talking about is over here. And I don't know. I don't really want to use Din's fire to grab it, and it has to be nighttime. I don't think I care that much. Unless we get to the end of this and I want to 100% it again. I'm not really feeling that too much though. Unless there's something interesting in the way. There's one at night here on this wall. It has to be night. Yes, it does. I went in there during the daytime once, and it did nothing. So there's actually, I believe there's two of these. There's one over there, which might be a gold Skulltula. Really, for the one in the grotto? Yes, it does. It has to be nighttime. So that one you have to lift, which I cannot do. So I'm gonna go for the crate instead. Not what I wanted to do. There we go. Man, we have a lot of hearts. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That chicken's stuck up in the air. Did you see it? Alright, is there anything else that Lord Dunk Nasty would like me to do before I go? The dive is fun, yeah. There's, like I said, there's only 2 spots in the game where you do that dive. It's there, and then the diving game in Zora's Domain. There's a few more secret grottos, but one of them I can't. As a kid, I don't have the... If you didn't have the Triforce of Courage, though. Is this still in reference to who's stronger between Hero of Time and Hero of the Wild? Yeah, without the Triforce of Courage. The diving whoops. If I catch that dude running again. Let's head to the castle. Because I definitely want to find that guard in between him being attacked and whatnot. Or did I already screw it up because I ran away from the castle when they were leaving? It's possible I just screwed it up. It has to be that very same night, maybe. I've already made it day to night like 17 times. Or is it just as long as you do it before you grab the Master Sword? It might be okay. Let's try to do it then. I also realized I never grabbed the ocarina. The ocarina is probably still in here. I guess we're about to find out. We ran away and we just left the ocarina sitting over here. There it is. I got carried away with everything else. The guard is a really cool detail, yeah. Look how beautiful this ocarina is. Just the blue texture. I like when you... I think the coolest things in the game, the way they look when you put them above your head like this. One is the ocarina. It's like got this shiny texture to it. And the other one is the Hylian shield and the mirror shield. They look so cool. Have you played Skyward Sword? Absolutely. Not only have I played it, I beat it on the original Wii, which I have. And I also beat it when I got the HD edition on the Switch. So I will eventually do that on this channel, just like Twilight Princess, and I bought Echoes of Wisdom, still haven't even touched it. So these are all games I need to play on this channel as well. Did you like Skyward Sword? I like the story of Skyward Sword. I think it's cool. Too many people decided they did not like that game because of the motion controls, and they missed out on a hell of a game because, to me, it was one of the more emotional games. Especially as you get deeper into the game, you learn all the lore about the Master Sword and all of that stuff. My theory is that the Ocarina of Time was made from one of those time stones in Skyward Swords, hence the time. Yes, absolutely. Definitely. Even down to the color and all of that stuff. All the lore about the Master Sword and the Ocarina and all the different items. I mean, that's the origin story of the whole game, basically. Not the game, of the entire Zelda universe. It starts at Skyward Sword. So again, for people who were like, I can't get past the controls, like, you're missing out on the origin story of this entire universe that we all love. So if that convinces you to play that game, then have you played any ROM hacks? No, I have not. I have all of my copies of all the real stuff, and I just haven't gone out of my way to do that. Do I need to do that? And does this guard show up during the daytime? So, is it back here? Or did we already miss our opportunity? I don't know. Here he is. Okay. Look at this. Apart from how beautiful this looks, by the way, I still like that the artwork for these things are underappreciated in this game. This to me is some of the best artwork. Like it's almost like a matte design for this, because nothing's gonna be moving while you're in here. So it's like the best artwork happens in the locations that are like houses or things like that, where you're not allowed to move the textures around. And to me, this looks so much like the original Resident Evil, where your camera is like a fixed position and it makes everything scarier. I think it would be super cool to have something like that where it's technically 3D but looks like this. Alright, let's talk to this guard. Are you the boy from the forest? So he must remember you. I've finally met you. I have something to tell you. Ganondorf, the Gerudo King of Thieves, betrayed our king. Zelda's nanny, Impa, sensed danger and escaped from the castle with our princess. I tried to stop Ganondorf's men from chasing them, but The princess was waiting for a boy from the forest. That's you. She wanted to give something to the boy. If you received it from the princess, hurry to the Temple of Time. And then the text slows down, and this dude croaks. And you try to talk to him again. He's not moving anymore. What do you think about that? Creepy, huh? It's also creepy juxtaposed with the upbeat medieval style music of Market Town. Rated E for everyone. Yeah, you just watch this dude die. Sands of Time, Master of Time, Ultimate Trial, all good games. I've heard of those, but have not touched them. That guard looks sleepy. Cult of Glenda, thank you. I think they used too many periods for an ellipsis. Yeah, they used a lot. They used 5. Well, Star Wars uses 4, so that's weird too. And that became pretty epic, So again, if you don't do this in between grabbing the Master Sword and them escaping, you never see this guard. So this is the only time in the game where you see this guard, and that's just weird. So if we leave, I want to see if I can leave Hyrule Castle and come back, and is that dude still there? So let's actually leave, only because I'm interested in this stuff, because you won't get another chance to do it. Let's go all the way out. Come back and see if that guard is still there. I found that guard on my first playthrough. Did you just wander around the castle? Were you there during the Big Bang as well? Or he's still here. What's interesting is I think there was a person standing here before, and this person is not here anymore. I figured it was a good time for something to have changed. Hey Sonny, I'll tell you something helpful. I heard there is a mysterious fountain somewhere near the castle. Wonderful, thank you. You should wait for an in-game week and see how the guard changes. I wonder if he turns into a Redead. There is a, so I think I talked about this earlier, but after the time switch, all the people in Castle Market and all the guards and stuff, they all sort of get moved to Kakariko Village. And all of the guards that are unaccounted for, I mean like every single guard, if you count the guards that are in the near the castle, the ones that are in the castle courtyard when you're trying to sneak around to get to Princess Zelda, and then the ones that are like in, there's 2 in Kakariko Village, there's one on the way to I guess that's still Kakariko Village, the Death Mountain one. But if someone did the work where if you count all of those, and then you try to come back and count all the ones that have either changed into like the ghost, the Poe collector guy and everything, then the number of Redeads that you find in Hyrule in general should match up to the amount of guards that are no longer there in the adult timeline. And that, of course, you have to subtract the ones that you see during Child Link timeline. But holy crap, someone did a lot of work to figure that out. I don't know if it matches up or if it's even on purpose, but interesting. Including that castle guard. If you don't account for that guy, then it doesn't work either. So weird. Are there any guards as an adult? So the Poe collector is one that people theorize is one of them, because he talks about you know, being nihilistic and stuff, basically. And then the ones who are not brainwashed Gerudo for the Iron Knuckle, people speculate that those count as some of those guards. Again, all of this is speculation, but it is interesting that, one, that someone took the time to do that, but two, if that's a real thing, that's incredible. Did you get the lady her dog? I did. Little Richard. I got the lady her dog. You get a heart piece there. Autism is a heck of a drug. Yeah, it can be. So as far as in-game time, you asked about waiting a week in-game time. I don't think the game... I think you said you were in coding and all of that stuff. You can maybe answer this question. It's not so much that it's an in-game cycle as much as it is talk to the right people, get the right things that get you there. So I think the Master Sword is the only thing that would make that guard disappear. I mean, we can go day-night and check on nighttime. But other than that, I think that guard will disappear. Possibly at night, and possibly once I grab the Master Sword is the only other time that would happen. I guess I didn't need to leave Hyrule Castle to do that, but I did it anyway. Oh, the rupees. I forgot about the rupees. There's rupees up here if you stand on the bridge. There you go. 60 rupees for you. There is a flags table. It's probably tied to the Sheik flag. A flags table. Probably tied to the... What are you talking... I'm not sure what you're referring to. A flags table? He's still here. It's almost creepier at night, and this dog was up in his face. Do Sheik blocks you pulling the Master Sword to become a child? He does for the first temple. So you can't turn back into a child until you finish the Forest Temple. And then that's when you come back to the Temple of Time. He teaches you the Prelude of Light to warp back to the Temple of Time. And then he gets out of your way. She gets out of your way. But yeah, once you pull the Master Sword, I think this guy will disappear. Otherwise, this is when he's here. A flag is a Boolean value. A flags table is a bit-packed array of flags. I need further explanation. You have lost me from one definition to the next. I'm interested, though. I bet he is still there after pulling the sword. Well, I guess we'll find out. I don't think he is. I don't think he is. Also, let's return the last mask to the Happy Mask Shop. You can't get back after pulling the sword unless you clear the Sheik flag. Okay, I see what you're saying. A bit. Okay, a bit as in digital bit. I couldn't... Now I get what you're saying. I Can't believe I only found the Bombchu shop this year. The Bombchu shop is one of my favorites because there is an online community of memeing the Bombchu baddie, the blue-haired Bombchu baddie. I can pop back in there to show you guys. So you're referring to code in terms of, you know, a series of if-then statements that will block you or allow you to enter the next step in a line of code. So asking about the Master Sword and the guard and all of that stuff. So there must be an array of things that have to happen for that castle guard to disappear. I think that's what you're getting at. Very interesting, and I like that you used all the proper verbiage. I think that's really cool. I like to hear that stuff. I didn't catch it the first time. I'm sure you have a lot to say, so thank you for your inputs. They're very good. I missed all of the text about the mask of truth coming up here. You may find out as you grow older and discover the value. For me, I was wondering why there was so many Bombchu chests in my randomizer, and when I found it, it finally made sense. From now on, you can borrow any mask you want. And so the Zora mask appeared, and the Gerudo mask appeared, and I believe there's a Goron mask. So, yeah. And then this is the Mask of Truth, which is in your inventory. So you can trade out for any mask you want again. And these are all free to use. So if you haven't done this, not only is this sort of like I think all of the ideas for these characters and the mask kind of give way to Majora's Mask, or at least the idea of it. But then also the Mask of Truth lets you get different text from people. Some of the characters will see you with that mask on and they're supposed to tell you the truth, like Wonder Woman's lasso or something, I don't know. And you can use them on the Gossip Stones as well. So that's a fun thing as well. Yeah, the Bombchu baddie. I went to Anime Con and we saw a Bombchu baddie there. So you can Reddit anything, can't you? Is this the Bombchu alley? Right here. Yeah. Here is everyone's Bombchu baddie. And she's asleep. Let's wake her up. Simping for the Bombchu baddie. I do not want to play the game. But there she is. I like this this neon sign. It's super cute. Little mouse chew. All right. I'm wandering again. I'm continuously interested in the this castle guard, who should still be there. Yep, he's still there. Oh, open the door of time and check if the guard is still there. All right. We took all the time to get the spiritual stones, and now we're going to clip through the wall. Responding to your mask, this strange stone statue talks to you. So was it Dunk Nasty or Link Slayer? You hadn't done the mask shop side quest, so that means you've never used the Mask of Truth. So these are things that the Gossip Stones tell you that are extra, that you don't get. Is my mask on? Yes, it is. You don't get the same text when you wear the mask versus not wearing the mask. Didn't you say it can be locked? They say that it is against the rules to use glasses at the treasure chest shop in Hyrule Castle Town Market. Nah, those aren't different. I think it's when you talk to people. Didn't you say it can be locked? What can be locked? Oh, other random thing. Maybe Cult of Glenda can help me here as well. This, for whatever reason, has this color texture. And there's only one time in the entire game, when you come out from getting the Master Sword as an adult, all of a sudden this looks green. And then when you come back afterwards, it comes back to this color. Why? I have no idea. It could be the code stuff that you're talking about, where it's only in that specific time period between... you know, someone coded the color for this thing and they made it slightly different, but it only works in between Sheik guarding you from the Master Sword between here and the Forest Temple. And maybe that's the answer to it. So you go check this thing. There are 3 hollows and an inscription here. Alright, we'll just do it. I never noticed that. Alright, well, you're about to notice. I did it wrong. Yeah, so it's the color that it is now is gray, and then when you come, as soon as I get the Master Sword, which is going to be like 20 minutes of cinematic cuts, all of a sudden it's got a green tint to it. And it's the only time it stays green. The next time you come back after the Forest Temple, it goes back to this color. Here we go. I put the mask on. Remember to check the guard now. I will. I will check the guard. Crap. You meant check the guard before grabbing the Master Sword, but opening the door and going back and seeing if the guard was there. Because now you can't go back in. That's what you meant. Well, F. That's like the tiniest window. Surprise, guard's alive. There he is. No, I mean, if the whole point is you grabbing the Master Sword, unless it was written that you play the Song of Time and it opens the door. Maybe that's what you're saying. Yes, I was wondering if the door of itself was the flag. Okay, the door. Right, right. This guy's face texture looks weird compared to the other ones. The other ones look not as defined. Even Link's face doesn't look as detailed as Rauru's face, and I always thought that was weird. Like just in this shot. I guess that means I'm going to have to do another run through. Cult of Glenda. To see if the guard going away is the Door of Time, or if it's... Well, it's clearly at least the Master Sword. Because then you can't come back for a while. Rauru was probably one of the first humans modeled. Is that so? Why would they model Rauru before Link? Or maybe Link has to be simple enough to be used in the game a lot. Because he looks, I think, in terms of detail, Link is very simple for the face. Early art did include this room, I think. Oh, okay. I think I understand my destiny. Use the Master Sword on ceramic pottery. And he was supposed to have more involvement as well. Yeah. I mean, the owl is supposed to be this guy, right? His evil power radiated from the temples of Hyrule. I am just guessing about Rauru being modeled early. I mean, your guesses are better than most, I would think. It's just, yeah, when I was a kid, it was like, why is this? Especially in the early days of all this 3D stuff, I was like, wow, he looks freaking amazing. It can't get more real than this. Have you played WrestleMania 2000? The textures look like I don't know. The body styles of that game look completely different. But there's so many of them. And then this game was earlier, and this guy's face just looks different. I can't think of another face in this game that looks less cartoonish. Or, sorry, that looks... No, I said it right. That looks less cartoonish. Like, this looks more detailed and more mature than any of the other faces, up to and including Link himself. I did see it somewhere, so I think you are right. Early conceptual art for the game. There was something about the medallions as well. Like, some of them are different. The little emblems that are in the medallions themselves, some of them are different. Or maybe they're all different. I don't exactly remember, but they may have changed based on when they were made. And then there was less, what's the word? They weren't within like the continuity of the game. They were it's like they just gave up on one of them. This is something funny. I understand why, but it's also funny as well that you can't use your boomerang, you can't use Deku sticks. But milk, totally fine. You can drink old milk because it gives you hearts. So if you have a bottle of milk for 7 years, you can drink up, buddy. Plus they were going to give you certain powers like in Link to the Past. Yes, yeah. The Ether Medallion, Earthquake Medallion, all of that stuff. I like the chiaroscuro art style here. All the shadows everywhere. I think this is a cool... If I could paint this myself, it would just look beautiful. But this looks really nice. The dark shadows and the strip of light coming through the House of the Dead. Is there an order? This is another theory, which it goes along with the ice arrows and all of that. We talked about that before, but Sheik mentions these in a specific order, and I wonder if that order was the order that they intended to before they had to change the location of everything because of game development reasons. So that order was all weird. It was not the order the game now pushes you to do. This is the legend of the temples passed down by my people, the Sheikah. If you believe the legend, you have no choice. You must look for the 5 temples and awaken the 5 sages. One sage is waiting for the time of awakening in the forest temple. The sage is a girl I am sure you know. I does understand. So what's the purpose of this? Other than just like, hey, don't turn into a child, otherwise you won't progress in the game. Like, do we really need the hand holding from here? You know, at this point in the game, you've already played 3 dungeons, you understand the mechanics of the game. Do you need more hand-holding, being told don't go into the past because the progress forward in this game only happens here as an adult. Therefore, I'm in your way now. It's really crappy they didn't reorder the medallions in text before shipping the game. So here are your medallions, by the way. That's one shape. That is, I guess that's the fire medallion. That may be the forest. Don't remember. That looks like water. That's the light they just gave me, I think. Shadow. One of these is shadow. Light medallion. Yeah, so they're sort of in here. That's fire. That's water. I think this is forest. So then one of these is shadow and one is, I think this is spirit and that one's shadow. But yeah, so the order, if you go around clockwise, is different. So you get this one first, that second, that third. I think this one is 4th and that one is 5th. Yeah. Oh, I don't have my milk with me, but definitely, I've done that before where you have milk and you take it with you from the past to now, and you can just drink the milk. But alrighty. Oh, let me show you this. This is my first time playing this 1.0 cartridge as a full run through. But let me show you the green thing I was talking about, because it definitely happens in my version. Yep. Look how green this is. You may have to go back and look at it, but I think I screenshotted it somewhere where this is absolutely more green. And I think maybe you're right. Until we finish the forest temple and get Sheik to move from there, this stays green until that moment, and then it goes back to like the regular amount of gray and white combinations that this is supposed to be. The other speculation was that it changed the time of day that you're here at. So, I don't know. The medallions go clockwise, but the last 2 are swapped. Yeah. Yeah, we went through that order. So yeah. Oh, and then this is the first time you see Death Mountain over there. And it doesn't matter if it's daytime or nighttime, I don't think. It doesn't change what this looks like. It straight up doesn't even change where you are. Usually it pops out. Oh no, there it is. Look at that. It's visibly whiter now. So maybe it was like the time of day that you came in here at. Look at that. It's not green anymore. Now I wonder if I can go outside to Hyrule Field and make it like half a day's worth and then see if it turns green again. Maybe it's just like a dusk. Excuse me. Maybe it's like a dusk situation. Huh. This game is broken. Let's now I want to test that. Let's run a little bit of the day outside in Hyrule Field and come back and see. This is the 1.0 This is the 1.0 version, but this happens on every cartridge because I've played the other cartridges. In my run through of my 1.2 version, the same thing happens to that pedestal. So you guys can check on your own copies. Alright, let's hang out here for a minute. I wouldn't say all the way nighttime. We just wait. The other thing is it turns dark as you approach. Hyrule Castle. It turns dark all of a sudden. Even though it's clearly still daytime. Stupid bow. Nah, we'll go to the fire temple. You could totally do that, by the way. I'm not sure how much of a hook shot you need. I am kind of dying here. I need to drink more water. Alright, I'm going to call that enough time passing. Let's go back, see if it changed color for any weird reason. Oh, then this dude, of course. This is the guard we've been talking about a lot. And now he tells you, I like that the world has gone to crap. You are quite an energetic young man. You're brave and handsome too. So he already knows who you are. Don't be surprised, I can read people's minds. If I looked as good as you, I could run a different kind of business. E for everyone. My shop is the only ghost shop in Hyrule. Because of the great Ganondorf, it is a fine time for a business like this. The fire temple only requires a bow for the dungeon map, I believe. That sounds right. And there are probably also... I'm trying to think if anything that's a switch would require that. But you may be right. The ghosts called bows are spirits of concentrated hatred that appears in the fields and graveyard. But not the Composer brothers. They were pretty happy to see you. I will pay a lot of money for it. So this is weird how there's just like him drawing that on there, and he's got a little I think it's called a cummerbund, like when you put a tuxedo on. And then this dude's bed is here. He's got some spirits, a cool carpet, his feet, these beautiful textures for his feet, and a stick. So let's go grab our 20 rupee and get out of here. This one always has a 20 in it. There it is. Back to the... Yeah, we're gonna check its greenness. That's the magic mask salesman. The master stick. Do you think it's the magic mask salesman? Because the idea is it's that castle guard who speaks he speaks the same way. It is not green. So maybe not enough time has passed in the day, or if it's just there. Happy mask salesman, yeah. So there's I never heard that theory. The theory was that same castle guard who talks about he wishes it wasn't so boring in Hyrule and that he would get himself into some trouble. People believe that it's the same guy. It's the same location. It makes sense. I doubt it. He's traveling in the woods in Majora's Mask while Link is still a kid, so... Where did Happy Mask Salesman go? He must be long gone. Yeah. Could be. Well, folks, I have been on this stream for nearly 4 hours. So, the next time I play this game, do a live stream, Tuesdays, Thursdays, I'm going to go get Epona, I believe, but I'm going to call it for here now. It has actually been a lot of fun. Today in particular, we have covered a lot of stuff, but now we're getting into some really cool stuff, because Adult Link is going to have more stuff that is 1.0 cartridge relevant compared to the other one. But that grass just disappeared. Did you see that? Now it's back. I must have faced the right direction for it. Thank you guys so much for joining, as usual. And I will be back. Don't forget to hit the like button. That's going to help me. I am still a pathetically small YouTube channel. And I hope streams, especially like this, make you guys as happy as it does me. Because I freaking love Zelda. And I love this game in particular. So, we will be back. I will see you guys then. Peace. Have an awesome weekend as well.